Hello, welcome to 100%. This is a very, very intimidating category, but I promise it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. So in this category, your main lifesaver is going to be the Subnautica speedrun checklist. Just a side note, all of the resources that I'm going to be putting on the screen here are going to be linked in the description of this video. So this spreadsheet is your god. This is what you need. So this has all the achievements, all the databank entries, and all the blueprints on it. And that's pretty much everything 100% is in this game. So you're going to need all of these achievements. For different categories of achievements, you have things like building vehicles, the Degasi habitats. These are the alien storyline things, and then some miscellaneous stuff at the bottom, including actually leaving the planet, and then repairing the reactor, cuttlefish, habitat, getting in the frickin' water. I hope you have to do that for this run. For all databank entries, this is the brunt of the category. This is where you're going to be, using your scanner and replacing the battery in your scanner, and then using your scanner again. It's a lot of stuff in here. You're going to have to learn how to check this pretty quickly. But in the first couple runs you do, obviously, you'll get a lot better at it. All blueprints is a lot more simple. There's only 157 new blueprints that you have to get, as opposed to like the 280 databank entries you have to get. I know 157 sounds like a lot, but typically this section goes a lot smoother than the databank entries. And one of the reasons for this is actually because it's a lot easier to check. If we go to my 100% run, you can see at the top if you've done your blueprints correctly. I don't even have to go into the blueprints tab because I know there's 157 new blueprints and I have 157 on my indicator there. So I know I'm done with blueprints. I don't even have to go into that tab. So we're going to go very quickly over the 100% route on the map here. And we're just going to draw. That's not drawing. That's drawing. Sorry, I'm just getting used to this program. So we start around here, and we go over to this life pod, over to this wreck, and then to the Jellyshroom cave, which is not there. It's actually here. And then we die and come back to the base. And then from here, we kind of do a weird variation of the mountains. So we come here, here, and then to this wreck, this life pod, this wreck, and then this wreck, and then the QEP, and die there. So that's kind of the first two sections of the run. I'll kind of go over this map when we do the rest. But first, we got to get resources. So let's pull these tabs back over, and we're going to do a little bit of resource teaching. We're going to go into this save. This is Clove's save that she has on the it's on the resources section in the leaderboards. It's a very good save. It's got a good spawn, and there's just a very good amount of like set things for you in the save. So it's good to use this if you want to practice. Though I think my game might have crashed. Oh, there it goes. Okay, good job. So, a few other things that we're going to mention. You need to be playing on the September 2018 patch if you want to have a chance at record. If you don't care as much, you can play on Legacy. I'll kind of mention the differences as we go. September 2018 definitely is not as optimized as Legacy is. And there are some things on Legacy that you can't do on the September 2018 patch, but mostly it's the other way around. I'm also going to assume that you have some amount of any percent knowledge and any percent resource collection. I'm not going to be going over like the most intense resource collection. I'm going to still be going over it because there's like a few minor differences, but I'm not going to be going over everything in extreme detail. So when you get into the life pod, it's going to look like this. Go ahead and grab the med kit and leave. And you're looking for basically the same spawns as an any percent spawn. anything in the northern section of the shallows is going to do fine. If you're starting, it's not terribly important that you get this spawn, but it's good to get in the habit of having a spawn like this. Same as any percent start, you're grabbing 2 limestone and 6 mushrooms, and you can go back to your base. And you're making a scanner. Basically, you're going to make a battery and then the scanner. Holding shift here keeps the menu open. Very useful. And then you'll go ahead and do ghost storage here. Because Clove is nice, she actually put 4 stalker teeth in this life pod locker for us. I'm not nice. I'm going to drop those right out here. So, we're going to run this like it's basically a fresh any percent save. If you're me, you can grab all of this stuff and unbind the flares. That's just what I do. You don't have to do this. You can basically do ghost storage right away, but that's how I do it. To do ghost storage, you click on the locker and then click on the escape pod in quick succession. It should look like this. If you do it right, your life pod or the life pod locker should open, and your data bank shouldn't, or your PDA shouldn't open. So at this point, you're going to do the sea glide loop, which, if you're familiar with any percent, is going through the coral tube and then going through the wreck. If you're closer to that end of the coral tube, you can go through the coral tube first and then the wreck. Because I'm closer to the wreck, I'm going to go to the wreck first and then go through the coral tube. I will mention, by the way, that you don't have to do ghost storage if you don't want to. It's not a requirement for the run. It's nice and it saves time, but you don't have to do it if you find it's too risky or too inconsistent or too stupid. At this wreck, you're scanning 2 sea glides, and then you're leaving. You'll come back to this wreck to scan some of the other blueprints and stuff around here. And then you're going over to the coral tube, which is just through this little section of kelp. We're going to go down here. Take a little look at dogs while you're doing it. Just see what you got going on. Teeth is not as strict as it is in any percent. You only need 2 for this run, which is a lifesaver. Go up for air and then come down. It's good to grab a metal salvage. If you grab a metal salvage like this, after you've grabbed the 2 creepvine seed clusters, you can fill your inventory up all the way and then dump everything, and you don't need to count at all. If you are coming from the other direction, obviously you can't do the strategy because you can't have 2 creepvines in your inventory. So you can just grab 24 resources, is the exact number, and then the middle salvage, and then your 2 creepvine seed clusters, and then you can put things in your life pod locker. So I don't need to count right here, but if I did, I would just be counting all these resources up to 24. After 24, don't grab any more. So right now, this run isn't any different from any percent. It only changes a bit later. I will also mention, at the start, when you're just starting out, I wouldn't expect to get everything correct on the first go. Be prepared to make a lot of mistakes. It's okay. You'll iron out those mistakes the more you play. So go ahead and dump everything in your life pod locker and die, and then you'll come back out and be greeted with the life pod. Apparently, I put my scanner away too. It's impressive. I made a glass. Don't make a glass. I meant to make a silicone rubber. So silicone rubber, lubricant, and then copper wire battery, the same as 90%. And then your O2 tank, your knife, and your sea glide. Boom. And then you can go ahead and dump everything back in here. You can also eat all this stuff. You're not going to need it. And you can go ahead and leave. If you're like me, I like to do a ghost storage here, but you don't have to. This is where things start getting really different. So, during this section, you're going to be scanning pretty much the entire shallows. So, we're going to go over everything that you have to scan in the shallows right now. And we're going to go ahead and scan all of it. So, we're going to go through plants first. You need to scan an acid mushroom. You need to scan a writhing reed. You need to scan table coral. And you also need to get 3 of it, of course. This is your typical sandstone loop, but there's just going to be more things added on. Blue palm. And then the coral shell plate, and then you're going to have your vein nettle over here. I might mispronounce some of the plant names, by the way. I feel bad about it a little bit, but not all that much. You're going to need the giant coral tube. And that's pretty much all you need for plants. Now, for animals, you need a bladderfish. Whenever you scan an edible fish like this, you need to make sure you scan it and then pick it up. Scanning it gives you the data bank entry, and then picking up gives you the blueprint on how to cook it and also cure it. So both of those are very important. You're going to need a Gary fish. Look, this little thing. Again, edible fish. You need to scan it and then pick it up. Whole fish. These guys are typically found in caves. And then the boomerang. One thing you do not need right now is a peeper. You scan a peeper like 4 times throughout this run, so you don't need to worry about it right now. It's not actually 4, but, you know. And then you're going to kind of go through the 80% sandstone loop route and scanning some additional stuff along the way, like a limestone chunk. You also need to pick up an alien egg. You need to scan a shuttle bug. And you're also looking for 2 cave sulfur from the crashfish nests. So this guy, we're going to piss off this crashfish. Go ahead and scan a sandstone as well. And you can grab 1 cave sulfur and scan the sulfur plant. You don't need to worry about scanning a crashfish right now. It's much easier to do later. Go ahead and piss off another crashfish or 2. Grab another cave sulfur. That's all the cave sulfur you need for the run. I will mention that you do not need to be counting quartz like you typically would at 80% here. You cannot have too many quartz after this section. You need a lot more than 8%. So it's okay to grab a lot. We'll come in here. Grab the last couple sandstone. This is why I like doing ghost storage. Sometimes your inventory fills up like that. After you're done picking up like the eggs and the fish, you can go ahead and drop all of that. You don't need it anymore. I'm gonna keep grabbing resources. And you can also scan a gasopod and a rabbit ray right now if you feel like it. You don't have to do them right now. You can do them later. I will go ahead and scan a gasopod now, though. And you can also scan a floater if you come by one. There's a floating rock over there. There's one over there. But I find they're usually easier to scan a bit later. And that's your sandstone loop done. So go ahead and come back to your base. And now we're going to make the habitat builder. And also, in addition, we're also going to make the repair tool. If you want to make the repair tool a little bit faster, do it a little bit fancier, what you can do is actually make the repair tool... you gotta grab the silicon rubber, of course. Make the repair tool now, and then start crafting things, and then also, while you're doing that, repair the life pod. You don't have to do this. This is kind of extra if you want to save a few seconds. Here you go. And then you can come in here and grab a bunch of resources. Make sure you have 2 copper in your inventory, and you've broken down any metal salvage that you can into titanium. Go storage and come out. And then you're going to go to wherever your nearest mushroom flood base is. If you're unfamiliar, we're going to go ahead and free cam. This is a mushroom flood spot right here. And then the other one is over here. Right here. So whichever one you're closest to, you're going to do the mushroom flood setup. I'm going to link those in the description of the video. Because I believe there are 2 videos on... this is Mushroom Flood A. The other one over there is Mushroom Flood C. We don't talk about B. B never happened. So go ahead and do the setup. Make your compartment. Your hatch. Go ahead and put the glass compartment in front of it if you want to skip the exit animations of the hatch. 2 solar panels in this run. Now, because it's night, we're going to go ahead and make it day. Typically, it'd still be day while you're doing this, but the day-night cycles are a little bit messed up because I'm going a bit slower than normal. We're going to come into the base, save your inventory, You can also go ahead and activate ghost storage and grab everything else from upstairs. And now we're gonna flood the base and die. Boom. Once you're done with that, you can make your lockers. Go ahead and dump everything in here. And then your endgame stuff in here, like lead. And then go ahead and grab a flare and do flare storage here. I like to do flare storage here because you don't have to do like a stroll outside the base. You can just put everything directly in your locker when you fill up your inventory. So go ahead and do flare storage. You do that by right-clicking with the flare, and then while the animation's playing, left-clicking on this locker. That'll make it so the next time you open, you're in that locker. So we'll do that again. Boom. And you can go and leave. So now we're going to go into the tooth section of the run and the rest of the resource section. So in this section, 4 mushrooms, 10 table coral, 3, 4, 5. If you're doing it at A, remember to grab these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then grab any metal you see on the way there. Remember, because you're on the September 2018 patch, that there is a bad metal that stalkers cannot drop teeth from. Remember to grab 2 creepvine here. And when you're about at this point in your inventory, you can go ahead and open it up and drop everything that you don't want. I like to keep 1 table coral in my inventory right now. Do not have to do that. So now we have some dogs around. So what we're going to do is we're going to start dropping the metal. And we're going to go on a long scanning spree of the kelp forest. So here, what we're looking for is metal salvage. We're looking for stalker teeth. You want to scan the creepvine and the seed along with it. You also want to grab 5 seeds. Grab the last one. Thank you. That's pretty much it for resources. If you didn't get egg, now's a good time to do it. Want to scan a stalker? If you can, you also want to try to scan a rabbit ray here. Rabbit ray typically run away from you. It's a lot easier to catch up with them with Super Sea Lead, so it's good to do them now. So, there's only a few more things that we have to scan in the kelp forest while we're waiting for teeth. Remember, if you can, to pick up and move the metal around if the dogs aren't liking their current positions. All the tooth management stuff that you typically do. Now, you're also looking for a hoverfish and a hoopfish, which are green. Where are they? Where's one? There's one. Boom. And there's also a possibility that you find an eye in this section. If you find it, you might as well scan it. Now's a good time. I'm also going to mention a few other times later where you can find eyes. After you've gotten all that, you can go and drop them. And now, we're going to go on to the sandstone rotation of this run. So, you might know, if you've run any percent, that you count sandstone, that you count up to 24 sandstone in the next section of the run. Now, you might not know the reason. The reason is because sandstone drops in buckets of 8. So, every single 8 sandstone you break gives you the exact same drops. It will give you 3 lead, 3 silver, 2 gold. Now, we can also use that in 100%. We have to keep in mind that right now, we've broken 6 sandstone. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our count at -2. And we're going to go and break some sandstone. Break sandstone until you have enough to make both the fabricators in your base. So we're at -1, -0. You can also scan mobile vehicle bays while you're at it. So we're at 0 now. 1, 2, 3. There you go. You also scan a mesmer now. So now our sandstone count is 3. So keep that number in mind. We're going to start from there later. 4. We're going to actually start from 4 later, because I got another one. So now, we're going to... That's pretty much everything that we have to do in this section. There's another mobile vehicle bay that we're going to go ahead and scan. we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have another tooth. There we go. You only need 2 teeth for this run. So go ahead and pick up some metal, fill up your inventory. You can drop lead. Lead is not that useful. So we have our inventory filled up, and now we're good to go back to our base. During this section, your first priority is getting this fabricator up, also stopping your epileptic seizure from the frickin' flare. And now you want to break down your metal. And then you'll go ahead and break down your seed clusters. You want to make 2 silicone rubber, and then 3 lubricant, I believe anyway. In here, you want to go ahead and grab the seed clusters that you grabbed and as much quartz as possible, and start making glass. You want to make up to 7 glass in this section. I already have 1, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't make any more. Go ahead and make the batteries. So grab your acid mushrooms and 2 copper. Make the batteries. And then you want to upgrade your oxygen tank. So at this point, you should have 4 titanium, a silver, and 2 glass. Go ahead and take your oxygen tank off and upgrade it to the high capacity oxygen tank. While that's crafting, you can go ahead and dump some things into your lockers. And now we're going to go over the resources that you need for this run. The rest of the resource section, that is. So, at this point, we're going to have to be counting 3 things at once. We need the rest of our copper, we need the rest of our quartz, and we need the rest of our sandstone. So, remember, our count starts at 3 sandstone, so that's handled. Look at how much copper you have. In this case, we have 2 copper. The baseline amount of copper that you need in this run is 11. You need 11 copper. Now, if you're just starting out with 100%, I recommend grabbing a shit ton more copper than just 11. I recommend grabbing like 14 or 15. Because you're going to want to be able to make a lot of batteries. You're going to need a lot of spares. But you can get away with 11. So we're going to probably do 12 in this run. That's a good middle ground. So we need 10 more copper. Now, quartz. For quartz, each glass that you have, you need 5 glass at this section. Remember, we crafted 6, but we used 2 in our high capacity tank. So we need 1 more glass, and we also need 5 spare quartz. So that means we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more quartz. Because we need 4 more single quartz to have enough spare, and 2 more to have enough glass. So we need 6 quartz, we need 10 copper, and we need 24 sandstone. And our count starts at 003. Now that we've done all of that math, we're going to go get our resources. Go ahead and flare storage on the far locker, like you typically do in an 90% run, and we're going to go over to the geyser. Remember, just like any percent, the first 8 sandstone that you grab are fixed in the geyser, and they don't count. So our count is 013, 023. 023. We're going to make it day again. 123. 223. 233. These sandstone don't count. We're at 233. 333. 343. 443? We were at 4 sandstone. You're right. We're at 444 then. 444. 454. 464. At this point, we're done with quartz. So we can go ahead and stop counting quartz. Now we're just at 4-4. We're at 4 copper, 4 sandstone. We can start counting sandstone now that we're done with the 8 up top. So we're at 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, 7-8, 8-8, 9-8, 10-8. Whenever your inventory is full, go ahead and put everything back into ghost storage. We're at 10-8. 10-9. 10-10. 10-11. 11-11. We need one more copper. 11-12. 11-13. 11-14. 11-15. In this cave, this little section of the cave, go ahead and scan the brain coral. You can also do this anywhere else, but it's good to scan now. And also drooping stinger. And try to keep brain coral. We were at 11. Oh shit, where are we at? We're at 11-15, I think. So 11-16, 11-17, 11-18, 11-19. 11-20. 11-21. 12-21. So 12-21. I don't need to count copper anymore. We're just at 21 copper now. Also in this section of the cave, it's good to scan crashfish, because they can't see you when you have super sea glide. So we're at 21. I'm going to look for the rest of our sandstone, and we're not going to find it. 22. So now, once you're out of this cave, you can go ahead and go back over to the sea glide wreck. I also recommend scanning gasopod here if you didn't scan it earlier. And come down to this wreck. So this is where we're going to start doing some funky rotting. Remember your count throughout this entire section. We're going to be like going through some wrecks in this section, but you got to keep in mind your count. We're at 12-22, I think. Yeah, 12-22. So from here, we're just looking to scan some grav traps and some beacons. So any grav traps you see, go ahead and scan them. You can also scan the trash can now. There's also a beacon right over there. I'm going to go scan that. So we're done with grav trap, and we're missing one beacon. That is something to keep in mind. You got to keep that in mind. The hardest part about this run is keeping everything that you need in your head. So if you miss anything from this wreck, try to remember it. Do your best. You can always come back later to a different wreck in the shallows. There are plenty that we go by. So from here, you need to go to the large wreck that's in the kelp forest. Now, what you're really looking for is this like formation right here. It's got like a little arch, and it's off the back side of this wreck. So once you find this, come to here and then come a little bit to the right of it, and you'll see the wreck pop into existence. We're gonna grab some air. Go ahead and go into this wreck. You can see there's a laser cutter door on the top, but we can actually go in through the side right here. There's a little vent shaft right here. So come in through the side, and you're inside the wreck. Go ahead and grab the databank entry and scan everything that you can scan. In this wreck, you can have beacon. No, can you have beacons? I'm not sure. You can have grav traps. You can have mobile vehicle base. You can have stasis rifles and boxes. It's good to try to get all of those scanned. But you need to scan the bench, the floodlight, swivel chair, and the desk. And once you've gotten everything scanned in here, I already know I have grav trap. That's why I'm not scanning it. You can go ahead and come out of the vent. I should make a flashlight so it's easier to see. I might just give it to myself. Item flashlight. That way I can just make those vent shafts easier to see in the future. Now, when you come out of this vent shaft right here, you're pretty much just going to want to go straight, maybe a little bit left. You'll see Life Pod 3 right up here, in between these two little chasms. Go ahead and go in and grab this databank entry and the compass blueprint. Now, once you come out of this wreck, you're just going to go off to the left, and there's a cave right here that's going to have the rest of your sandstone in it. Let's go ahead and come down. It's a good time to get the eye or the eye stalk scan, and go ahead and cut it. This is for the cure that you'll need in like an hour, and go ahead and find the rest of your copper, quartz, and sandstone. I'm going to go ahead and look. That's 23, and that's 24. It's a good idea to come out. There's usually some sandstone around the outside here, and then come to this other section. Now, sometimes at the end of this cave, you won't have 24. Don't worry. Not that big of a deal. There's another cave later as well. But once you exit the cave from this side, go ahead and come up here and dip your head into the grassy plateau. You're looking for 2 to 3 scans right now. If you see any blueprints on the ground, it's a good time to get them, like the sea moth right here. It's always good to get this. You're going to want the spadefish, which is this little thing. You're going to want the Reginald. The Reginalds are over by this pillar right here. This Reginald is a very special Reginald. You can see it has green spots on it. Now, before you're done with the mountain setup section of the run, you're going to want to have an edible fish that's infected. So this Reginald fits that quality perfectly, so we're going to grab it, and we're not letting go of that fish. You can let go of the other one, though. Also, if you're letting go of fish, you're going to drop your lead. If you're not done with your sandstone, you can come into this cave and come through here. There's a good amount of sandstone in here. There's also the 2 guaranteed sandstone off to your left when you're partway through this cave. I gotta remember I have a flashlight, so I can kind of show you that. Nice and easy now. There's 2 sandstone in here. And then if you still don't have it, you can come over here, down into this little cave. And right down here, there's 3 guaranteed sandstone right here. This one's a bit hidden. And then there's 3 guaranteed sandstone over here. Now, when you're done with all of that, go ahead and go back to your base and try to pick up some metal. I'm also going to grab a fish because I'm a bit low on my food. So we're going to grab some fish. Also, scan the mobile vehicle base you see. Ow, that's kind of rude. What the? Okay, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Go ahead and just grab some metal salvage on the way back to your... What the fuck is that? On the way back to your base. Now, this peeper right here is also something very important. This peeper right here is an enzyme peeper. You can tell it's an enzyme peeper because it has a little tail. I'm not going to grab this right now. But if you see an enzyme peeper just roaming about, go ahead and scan it and pick it up. There's a much better place to get them that's more reliable later. I'm not going to get one right now. I'll show you that place later. So we're going to grab our inventory full of metal, and we're going to go back to our base here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is actually going to cook our fish. I want to eat good. There we go. So, first things first, go ahead and break down your metal salvage. And make some ingots. Go ahead and grab some metal in here and make another ingot. You can just go ahead and dump the eye stalk in here. Grab all the copper in here. Now, with this copper, you want to make 5 copper wire. So I'm going to make 5 copper wire. Just like that. Go ahead and come in here. If you have enough metal salvage, it's worth it to just build a 3rd ingot. In this case, I actually didn't have enough metal salvage. I'm going to go and get a bit more. You need some spare, but it's okay. So we have the... I was supposed to start my count at 2 copper. I forgot to do that. Oh well. We're just going to have extra copper. That's fine. Not a big deal. Once you've made the 5 copper wire, you can go ahead and dump the rest of your copper in here. Go ahead and grab all your table coral. I'm also going to dump the fish in here. And start making computer chips. You need to make 4 computer chips with the copper wire that you just made. Go ahead and grab the gold and the rest of your silver. Leave 4 silver in here, though. These are the 4 silver that you're going to need to make the ion batteries later. And then go ahead and make 4 wiring kits. If you have any silver in there, go ahead and look for that. Now, with the gold, a wiring kit, and a computer chip, go ahead and make 1 advanced wiring kit. This is different than any %. You only need to make 1. Once you're done with that, you can go to make the rebreather. I'm going to go out of my base real quick. And I'm going to look for just a few more metal salvage. So I'm kind of low. 2 should do. If you're not confident enough to make the third ingot, you absolutely do not have to right now. If you don't think you have enough metal salvage. I thought I did, but I did not. So there we go. Go ahead and also you need to deal with your quartz. So in my case, I only need to make 1 more glass to have 5. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So at this point, you're done with crafting. Go ahead and drop all of your gold and your ingots and your electronics that you built in here. Keep all of your titanium. You want to grab 2 quartz and a copper. Go ahead and make a 3rd locker and a radio. Now, you're going to want to scroll through some radio messages. And the way to do this fast is to click a radio message, wait 1 second, deconstruct it and reconstruct it, and click it again. If you get the rhythm of that down, you should be able to just make your radio messages play one after another, and that'll give you a nice little waypoint as to where we're going next, which is Lifepod 17. So, once you're done with that, you need to just have 1 quartz and 4 titanium in your inventory. And if you've done that, we're pretty much done with your resources section. All you have left to do is to do flare storage on this locker and leave. And now we're gonna go actually start the brunt of the 80% or the 100% run. This is where things get a lot different than 80%. So, this next section, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either do it the really risky way, which is faster, or you can do it the less risky and more safe way. So, I'm going to show off the less risky, but safer way. But if you don't want to do that, I can actually show off both ways. I don't think it's that hard to get both. If you don't want to do that, you need to grab some bladderfish. Now, what am I even talking about right now? So, our next section is going to take us through the Jellyshroom Cave. The Jellyshroom Cave has a very tight breath requirement. Normally, it takes 2 breaths to do it. You're going to go under, and then all the way over to the Degasi base, and then up, and then go back down to the Degasi base, clear it out, and get everything else you need to, and then die and come back to your base. You can do it in 1 breath if you have some bladderfish. So, what we're going to do is we're going to grab 6 bladderfish. 6 bladderfish is a very safe amount. You can do it with as little as 3 or 2. But you're just grabbing some bladderfish here if you want to do it the unsafe way. If you don't care and you just want to try to get it done, you do not need to grab bladderfish. I recommend grabbing 1 in this section, though, just to make an air bladder later. But I'm going to grab 6 here and use 5 in the Jellyshroom Cave to make an air bladder. So now, once you've left your base and you've gotten you've decided what you're going to do for the Jellyshroom Cave, you go ahead and start heading over to Lifepod 17. You can also scan a floater now. It's a pretty good time, too. While you're on your way over, you're looking for some things off the ground here. Through the kelp forest, you're going to want to grab 4 creepvine seed clusters, or not seed clusters, creepvine samples, 4 of them, and fill up your inventory with metal salvage. While we're going over to Lifepod 17. So my inventory is full with salvage, so we're going to go ahead. Did I not do flare storage? Apparently I didn't. That's impressive. Let me just go back to base real quick. Oh, I opened my inventory, didn't I? To show off the bladderfish. Whoops. Ideally you have flare storage there, and you just put everything back in flare storage. So we're going to pretend that this is flare storage, and we're just putting this back in flare storage. Like that. And then you can make your way over to Lifepod 17. Alright, here we are. So, Whenever you come into the grassy plateau, again, any fragments you see are just good to get. Also, laser cutter right here that I will get. These aren't as important. Things that can spawn on the ground here: bioreactors, sea moths, and scanner rooms. If you see any of them, they're good to scan. So, laser cutters obviously also spawn here, but they're not as important. So, this is Lifepad 17. If you take a nice view, you'll see the Jellyshroom cave entrance is right here. We're going to dip our heads into the Jellyshroom cave entrance, but not go all the way down. You can see there's like a hole that goes down, and there's some plants right here. I'm going to go ahead and scan these plants. So this is the Violet Bow. There is the redwort right here, and then there's the Feral Papyrus right next to it. And then over here is the Rogue Cradle. There's also always one resource right here. In this case, it's magnetite. Sometimes it could be shale. Sometimes it can be a large resource deposit. If it's there, you might as well grab it. You do need magnetite for the run. So it's good to grab that resource and then come up to Lifepod 17 and actually do it. You can scan the sea moth outside of it. This sea moth is guaranteed. And then the PDA. While you're on the way to the wreck, thank you for your input. You're going to want to scan a biter if you didn't scan it earlier. And come over to the wreck. Now, instead of going inside the wreck, we're actually going to venture around the wreck first. Around the wreck, there can be a bunch of blueprints. Again, the three I mentioned earlier: the sea moth, the scanner room, and the bioreactor. If you see any of those, this is the best time to scan them. So we already have sea moth done, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and scan everything else we see. It's also a good idea to get some metal salvage here. Even if you've already filled up your inventory and done the whole ghost storage thing, it's still good to get metal salvage. You can hold 4 in your inventory, right? So go ahead and grab some if you see it. There's a lot around this wreck. You need 3 scanner rooms and 2 bioreactors, and also 3 sea glides here. Or sea moths here, sorry. That's scanner room done, and that's bioreactor done. Don't worry if you don't get scanner room or bioreactor. If you don't get sea moth, it's time to worry a little bit. You got to keep it in mind now. Just like you're keeping a beacon in mind. So, once you're done going around this wreck and you've gotten all the blueprints or metal salvage or whatever you want to do around this wreck, go ahead and go for air. And now we're going to go through this wreck. This wreck is infamous for screwing people up. So we're going to take it slow. Hold on. What's the thing for a water bottle? Water bottle Subnautica. Let me just spawn one in. Item, big filtered water. We're just going to fill up. Just a little bit. So. How to do this wreck. Oh, gosh. I'm going to grab the flashlight so you can see it a little bit better. The entrance that we're going to want is the top entrance right here. So go ahead and come into this entrance. You want to scan the command chair while we're going in. And we're going to want to grab the State of Bank entry. Right here. From the State of Bank entry, go ahead and go up through this door. And come to your left. You'll see there's like a little staircase right here. Follow the staircase and come down. Now, if you're going like directly under the staircase, you can kind of see there's a little vent shaft off to your left right here. Go ahead and go through this vent shaft. This vent shaft is very confusing. How it works, you go straight, you go up, you go straight again, and then you go down. And you're in this section of the wreck. Don't worry about anything in here. Just, you need to come straight from here. There's a door right here, and then there's a vent shaft right here. Do not go through the door, go through the vent shaft. Vent shaft is right over here. Come through this vent shaft. The way it works is you're going to go in, and then come this way. Again, that's towards the rest of the room. So come in, come towards. You're going to get blocked off. You're going to go down. And then again, towards, and then to the right. And then you're in this section of the wreck. Go ahead and grab this databank entry. And then you're done. Go ahead and grab an eye compartment and place it directly in the wreck. And that's going to despawn the entire wreck. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why the hell couldn't we just do this from the beginning? If you do this on the wrong wrecks, your run is screwed. You need to make sure you're very careful when you're despawning wrecks. If you despawn a wreck and there's a databank entry inside, there is a very high chance that the databank entry completely disappears. There are like 3 exceptions to the rule. You need to be very, very careful when you're deconstructing wrecks with your compartments. Go ahead and deconstruct this compartment, and now you're going to scan the blueprints. In this section, you're looking for 2 battery chargers, you're looking for 2 propulsion cannons, you're looking for 3 laser cutters, you're looking for 3 modification stations. You're also looking for 3 mobile vehicle bays if you didn't get them earlier, because they can spawn here. You also want to grab some water, because you're most likely very thirsty right now. So water, I'm going to go for air. And now we're going to go through and scan everything at the bottom of this wreck. So we're going to get the battery chargers first. You don't have to do this in like a linear order. You can scan whatever fragments you see and kind of keep track of everything. That's typically what I do. Did I not get mobile vehicle bay? No, I did. The game's just messing with me for no reason. Go ahead and get the rest of our laser cutter. Go ahead and get the propulsion cannon and the modification station. Now, there is a chance that you do not get modification station here. If you don't get it here, it's really bad. It's really, really bad to not get modification station here. I'll show you a backup for it if you do not get it here. By the way, this is also a modification station. It looks a little weirder. Just don't be thrown off by it. And we're missing 1 propulsion cannon, just there. And that is all the blueprints we need from this wreck. So, if you do not get modification station here, I recommend going to the backup wreck. The backup wreck is all the way over there. So come to Lifepod 17. This is a good way to find it. And kind of follow the edge of the kelp forest here. You want to just keep it kind of in the left of your vision. And if you do that, you should come across the wreck right here. Go ahead and despawn this wreck and look for your modification stations. Don't worry, there's no databank entries in here, so this one is safe to despawn. If you don't find modification stations there, you can find them in the Jellyshroom cave. It's less ideal though. Just a heads up. So you need modification station by the end of this section. If you do not have it, it's a dead run. The run's dead. So, once you've done that and gotten all your fragments from the wreck, go ahead and come back towards Lifepod 17 and go up for air. Now we're going to do the Jellyshroom section of the run. So, this is where things get intense. You need to be very, very well. You need to be playing very, very well. So, you're going to come straight down, and we're going to start scanning things. Pretty much instantly. Here we go. I will also point out that the first time I was running 100%, I didn't know what the hell I was doing in this section either. It took me 4 breaths to get Jellyshroom Cave done. It shouldn't take you 4 breaths. But let me just lay out the objectives for you. We're going to go down, we're going to grab a databank entry, we're going to scan some things. We're looking to get 4 diamonds and 4 lithium and 2 magnetite from this section, and that's it. And then we're going to go through the Degasi base, and then we're going to die. That's how this section works. So, we're going to go do that. Go straight down. And you'll kind of need to turn around. Grab this Jellyshroom right here. If you want, you can get Regress Shell right now. There's one right here. You do not have to do it. Now, scour the ground, look for resources. Good time to scan shale. And start grabbing things. You do not need to keep track of things right now. You will need to when your inventory fills up. Now, whenever you come straight down from this entrance, there's going to be the databank entry right here. Go ahead and grab that and start heading towards the blueprint, or the marker on the map. That should be magnetite done. Now we're just looking for a shell. So at this point... Oh, you also have to remember to get your water. I totally forgot about that. Your inventory is going to be full if you don't do that. You can grab this right here. This is always a med kit. So you can grab it if you want. While you're on the way there, you're going to run into some geysers. Right next to it is going to be a cave bush. This is a good one to scan. You can scan Oculus now. I don't recommend it. You can always get it later. When you're done, when your inventory's full in this section, go ahead and consume your bladderfish if you're doing this strategy. And keep a look at your, take a look at your inventory. We have 2 diamonds and 2 lithium, so we're going to kind of count from there. We need to get to 4-4. So we're at 3-2, 3-3, 3-4. Need 1 more lithium. When you're almost there, you're going to run into this little thing right here. This is always a battery. You should take this. Absolutely. There's our last lithium. We're going to go ahead and drop a metal salvage because we're kind of full. And now we're done. In terms of other things you have to scan, you need to scan a crab snake. These things are really annoying. They will probably bite you. The best you can do is just try to strafe out of their way. I'm holding back and right, or back and left right there. So that's probably the best way to try to avoid them. There's a possibility you get grabbed. It's not the biggest deal. Just use a med kit. No big deal. So you can see modification stations will spawn here. I've already gotten into this, so I don't need to worry about it. In terms of going through this Degasi sea wreck, you're looking for all of the data bank entries here. There's one outside. Hello. Do you mind? I'm actually going to do oxygen here, just so I can give you what it really looks like. So, and I don't have to like run through everything really quickly here. So, there's a databank entry right here. Grab this. There's one in this broken tube. Come into here. Grab this. And then you can come into the wreck. This is where the epilepsy gets kind of bad. Go ahead and scan the multi-purpose room. Very bright. Thank you for luck, Cosmic, by the way. Do not scan the water filtration machine right now. It takes too much time. There's a much better time to do it later. Grab this databank entry, and then there's one in this locker. Grab this databank entry. Come through this tube. Do not go up the ladder right now. Just come straight through. You go ahead and scan the bed. And then you can scan wall planter here. You don't have to. Go ahead and grab this databank entry and this data box. This is the ultra high capacity tank. This is very necessary to do. Once you've done that, go ahead and swim back over here and then up and into the observatory. Do not scan the observatory. Just grab this databank entry. Now you're done. You can come right back out. And you're done going through the wreck. Now, if you have extra oxygen, now's a good time to look around outside the wreck. If you can get stasis rifle here, this is a great time to get stasis rifle. I know I have 2 outside this wreck. I saw them earlier. So, this is really good. I used to reset if I didn't get stasis rifle here. It's not that necessary, but it is quite necessary for later on in the run. You can also scan any other blueprints you see, like thermal plants. You can also get moon pools here. You can get power cell chargers here, stuff like that. If you see it, it's a good time to scan it. So, once you're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and turn oxygen back on. You're pretty much done with this cave. I will also mention, if you didn't get II earlier, now's a good time to get II. There are some IIs in this cave. Usually over here. I say, when there are no IIs over here. Where are the IIs? Also, if you didn't get cave bush earlier, there's one right there. Here's an II. So yeah, there's some IIs around. That's pretty much everything you're gonna need to scan down here, though. So once you're done scanning everything and going through the Degasi wreck, you can go ahead and make your compartment and die. Now, if you're not doing this strategy, if you're not doing the bladderfish strategy and doing one breath, there's exit to the Jellyshroom Cave right up here. You can just come out this entrance and get some air. Obviously, you get all of your air there, but I don't need all of my air because I've already done everything in here. So, that's everything we have to do. Go to make your base, save your inventory by coming into the base and then coming out, and then deconstructing the hatch. And then you can drown. If you can't drown, you can also rub yourself up against these stingers. It'll also do it. And you'll die and death warp back to your life pod. Boom. Go where we are. Life pod. Grab the med kit and leave and come back to your base. Now we're going to do another little crafting section here. We're going to upgrade our oxygen tank. That's pretty much the point of this crafting section. And prepare ourselves for mountain. So, grab Super Sea Glide again. Go ahead and make the metal salvage that you have in your inventory into the titanium. You can dump all that in here. Actually, not all of that. You do need to keep some of it. Grab from this locker a computer chip, a wiring kit, a lead. That should be everything you need. You can also grab the eye stalk seed now. You can also grab it later. It's not really that important. Oh, and one other thing, you also need to grab a silicone rubber. Go ahead and make the modification station right here. And then take your oxygen tank off and make it into the ultra high capacity tank. Now, you can also make a thermoblade in this section if you want to. If it'll make you feel better about your food and your water situation, you can make it. It loses time, but it might save your life. So, you know, who am I to judge? If you do make your thermoblade here, make sure to swap a battery into your Sea Glide first before you do that. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to deconstruct the modification station right now. If you do this section fast, you won't have to go for air, but because I'm taking things slow, I will have to go for air here. So, next, you want to come in here, grab the batteries, and grab the cave sulfur, and grab the table coral. Go ahead, and you should have 3 batteries in your inventory now. You want to swap a battery into your Sea Glide, into your scanner, and into your habitat builder. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and make these 3 tools. The laser cutter, the stasis rifle, and the propulsion cannon. Boom. Now you can dump this, dump these, and the gold. You can also make the air bladder right now. Cool. So now, make sure you have a gold, a table coral, and a lot of titanium. You need 7 titanium here. You need 2 quartz here. And this is your inventory. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, you need to make a waterproof locker here. Now, another thing I'll mention, if you can't make the stasis rifle here because you don't have the blueprint, that's okay. Just put your stuff in, like the stasis rifle stuff in here. That's going to be a titanium, a battery, a computer chip, and 2 magnetite. Just put it in here, and you'll make it later. You can also stop your radio from bleeping at you if you need to. So, this should be your inventory before you leave. Obviously, excluding the flashlight. You can also dump the flare. You don't need the flare right now. So, once you're done with that, go ahead and come out and deconstruct this solar panel almost all the way. You need to get that quartz from it. Once you get the first quartz from it, you can go ahead and stop. And then come up for air and drop your waterproof locker. Open your waterproof locker. And now dump as many of these resources as you can in here. You need to save these 2 titanium though. Once you've done that, go ahead and grab your propulsion cannon, right click on the storage, and then left click on it. If you do that, you can pick it up with all the items inside. It's a nice little glitch. It's called prop storage. It's not used in many other runs though, unfortunately. Once you're done with that, you are good to go. You can go ahead and make your way off to the next section of the route. All right, so the next section of the run is going to involve going up to the mountain and doing all the mountain setup. So we're going to want to start going over there. If you're at this spawn, you just kind of go over into the grassy plateau right here. If you're at the other spawn, you can kind of use the geyser here as a good landmark. Come from the geyser and go over here. If you want to do the ideal like air cycle, grabbing air here is the best, but you don't have to do that. Go and come down. Radiation. Oh. Oh God. I forgot about that. How am I gonna deal with that? Can I hold on? What's the command to repair the ship? Or is there a command to not take radiation damage? No radiation. This is gonna be scuffed. I'm sorry. Command. It's literally just radiation. Obviously, your Aurora wouldn't be exploded right now, if you're playing your best. So we're kind of in this area of the grassy plateau. We got the kelp forest right here. We've got a small wreck right here, and we got life pod 6 right there. So, you might know this cave right here. This is Clove's cave, right here. We named it after her because she likes to go into it in glitchless runs. Come right here and go and scan the tiger plant. And then come over to life pod 6. Go ahead and grab this databank entry, and then right here, grab this databank entry right here. Now, if you don't have Seamoth, now's a good time to get it. There's a large wreck right over to your left right here that you can just run over to and grab Seamoth. If you do have Seamoth, you can go ahead and continue down into the mushroom forest right over here. And we're going to go pretty much straight back into the mushroom forest. While you're going straight back into the mushroom forest, scan a tree mushroom and also a, what are these called? A tree leech, yeah. You can also scan a jelly ray. And you're going to come across a cliff right here. This cliff is really good because there's a vent right here. Go ahead and scan this vent. And out of this vent usually come enzyme peepers. So take a look around and look at all the peepers and see if any of them have glowing tails. I swear I saw one earlier that had a glowing tail. Yeah, there's one. So go ahead and scan the one with the glowing tail and pick it up. They come out of this side of the vent, so if you want, you can wait a little bit and see if one comes out of the side of the vent. You can also, like, wait on top of this brain coral if you want. Or you can just risk it for the biscuit. There's another vent later as well that you can pass by. There's one. See what I mean? Yeah. So you can do that if you want to. But once you're done, go ahead and follow this wall right here around to the left. And you'll find this cave right here. Now, this cave is very confusing, but it's not that hard. So, come into this cave, and you can see it goes straight back, but there's also a path off to the left. So go ahead and take this path off to the left, and then come up, and you'll come into this nice big section right here. Go ahead and make sure you keep facing the direction you're facing, and go straight down until you hit the floor. Once you hit the floor, go ahead and look straight up, come straight forward, and come straight down again. If you do that right, you'll hit the cuttlefish egg. Now you want to do everything you just did in reverse. So come straight up, turn around, and then come up again. And once you've done that right, you should be able to come back down, and then off to the right, and leave straight out. Boom. Go ahead and go straight out, and you should run into this wreck. There's a few ways of doing this wreck. The way I do it now is coming straight towards here to the lightweight high capacity tank and grabbing this. and then going straight inside of the wreck. I'm gonna go to oxygen again, just so I can show you this. So now, by the way, if you do not have stasis rifle, this is the best time to get stasis rifle. There's usually a lot inside this wreck. Come inside this wreck, you can scan power transmitters in here, usually a lot. You can also scan the your first light stick fragment. There's always one right here. And open this door right here. This is straight back into the wreck. Open your inventory and bind your laser cutter to one of your keys, because you're going to need to open this laser cutter door that's right behind this door right here. So, what you're looking for is you're going to do a laser cutter and knife overlapping animation thing. So, what you're going to do is you're going to slash with the knife, and then keep holding right click and switch over to your laser cutter. If you do it right, it should look like this. This makes the laser cutter like 5 seconds faster, but you do it multiple times throughout this run, so it's good to get in a good habit of doing this right. You can come through the store now and grab this databank entry and the blueprint right there. You can also scan your next light stick fragment. That's all the light stick fragments you're going to need for the run. Now, in this section of the wreck, there are batteries and nutrient blocks inside of these supply crates. You should open the supply crates. There's a chance you get batteries from here. They're really good to have. If you get nutrient blocks, it's good to eat it. In this case, I got 2 batteries. That's the best RNG possible. Getting 2 batteries right now is amazing. It means I don't have to make any more batteries throughout the rest of the run. So, when you're done with that, go ahead and come out, come up this door, and then come out. Instead of going out, you're going to take the vent shaft off to the right. I'm going to grab my flashlight again so we can kind of see things. So, with this, you're going to go straight in and then straight down. When you go straight down, you're going to come to a dead end right here. You need to go off to the right, and then come straight down again, and then go to the straight again. You don't want to follow the path off to the right here. This path leads nowhere. So go down, and then go all the way across. And then right, all the way across. And then up. If you do that right, you'll make it to this section of the wreck, where you can grab this databank entry right here, which is the reinforced dive suit. And you can go ahead and get rid of this wreck, because you're done with it. Goodbye. So if you didn't get stasis rifle, you should be able to see them now. Go ahead and try to get it. How long you played up for inside the cave to remember the path? Like 4 years. I've been playing this game. So yeah. Once you're done with that, go ahead and come to the ledge right here. You can see this is basically like a point. Just follow this point. If you follow the point correctly, you should be able, off to your right, to be able to see life pod 12. So go ahead and go down to life pod 12. And grab the things inside. At this point, when you have gone to life pod 12 and all of that, keep note of the time that's on your timer right now. In this case, I don't have a timer on my screen, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring up live split. We're going to close the splits. And I'm going to reset the timer. So, bulb zone is a running timer. Whenever you enter the bulb zone, you start a timer. We need to get that timer to 2 minutes. In order to get that timer to 2 minutes, you cannot leave the bulb zone. That includes going in wrecks. That includes going in caves. You cannot do that. So, we're going to go into a wreck and reset my timer so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. There's a wreck right over here. This is where you're going anyway. But I'm just going to do this for an example. So we're going to open the store and then go into this wreck and then come out and start the timer. So in, out. So, now the timer's going. That timer needs to get to 2 minutes. So, you should start the timer whenever you leave this wreck. And when I say start the timer, I mean remember the time and figure out what time is exactly 2 minutes from now. So, once you leave that wreck and you come over to life pod 12, Go ahead and grab the stuff from the life pod. Going in the life pod doesn't count as leaving the biome. So, grab the stuff from in there, and then come up this ledge right here. You can scan the giant bulb bush right here. And you can also scan the small bulb bush. That's right here. You also should need to go up for air about now. Which we're going to do. Again, here's an infected boomerang right here. So if you didn't get one earlier, keep an eye out. There's a lot of infected fish around here. Going up for air doesn't count as leaving the biome, by the way. We're still in the biome. At the 1 minute mark, you should get that dialogue message. So that is a sign that we are doing it correctly. So, you've gotten the giant bulb bush, you've gotten the small bulb bush. Make sure you slice the bulb bush. You need it for the cure. So, go ahead and grab the pygmy fin. It's right here. This is like the only one in this area. So, it's just off to the right of this wreck. I mean, there are a few others around, I'm sure. Now, once you're done, go ahead and open this door. And from the outside of this wreck, scan the water filtration machine. You're not counted as going in the wreck right now. Now, something's going to happen when our timer hits 2 minutes. While you're waiting, again, you can scan other things like the ampiole. You can scan a bone shark as well. Again, it's okay if they hit you, just heal. It'll happen at 3 minutes. Once you hit 2 minutes, though, you're good to leave the biome. So, we're good to leave now. From this wreck, right here, where you've gone in, you need to come behind the wreck and make sure you grab this databank entry right here. The alien containment. And then from here, you're pretty much going to follow this side of the wreck, over here. If you follow this, you should hit a huge drop-off. Right here. Go ahead and come down here. At 3 minutes, we're going to get a radio message. We're going to scan the bone shark right now. And there are some rubies on the wall as well. So maybe you can find one of those to scan. But, because we've done everything correctly, we can actually head into the Lost River. Because we have gotten the bulb zone. By the way, where we are, there's our radio message. Where we currently are, this is still the bulb zone. It only stops counting as the bulb zone when you, like, go to this ghost weed. When you hit this ghost weed, now you're in the mountain. So go ahead and go to this ghost weed right here. It's, there's a bunch around here, but this is the best one to get because it's so high up. Scan the ghost weed and cut it. And then you're pretty much going to follow a path in between two mountains. So there's this mountain right here. Don't go over there. There's a Reaper Leviathan over there. And there's, like, this mountain. So go ahead and follow this up right here. And at this point, you're looking for a giant bulb bush. There should be one right there. Go ahead and follow that and just come up. We're going to get you off my screen. The timer's not important anymore. Now, there's a few ways to do the next section. This section can be particularly terrifying. We are in the mountains right now. And if you do not know, the mountains is jam-packed with leviathans. All these guys, yeah, this is where we are. We're over here. So, this Reaper Leviathan is one of the better ones to scan. We're going to go right by it. So, if you want to scan a Reaper, this is a pretty good time to do it. Now, some considerations. If it's daytime, it's a really good time to scan one. If it's nighttime, maybe not so much. Maybe you want to scan one later. It's in the world record run, it's currently night at this section of the run. So I don't scan it here because it's really hard to see at night and you can die very easily if you're not careful. So, what you're looking for is the mountain island. If you're unfamiliar, look through the PDA and try to find the glowing cloud. In this case, it's not glowing because I'm so close to it, and you can actually just freaking see the mountain. But if you come further back, away from it, and you look through the PDA, it should be glowing. There you go. You can see the cloud is glowing there. So go over to the glowing cloud, and you should find the mountain. Now, there's the Reaper. It should be right below me. Where is it? Where's Mabel at? Mabel should be like right here. I don't know where Mabel is. Anyway, you should see the mushroom forest right here in this little bridge. You might be familiar with this area in 90%. This is actually the area where you clip into the Lost River. Sometimes Mabel does this where she just doesn't appear. If she does this, it might be better to get Reaper Leviathan scan later. So you're at this mushroom forest. You should see a Reaper right here. But Mabel has decided to just not exist for some reason. I don't really know why she's not here. She might have clipped into the wall. But you should see the gun. The gun is a really good landmark to kind of go by. You're going to want to drop down and go really deep into this section. Now, be very careful when you're navigating here. You don't want to go too close to Mabel, but you also don't want to go too far that way. There's a very good sweet spot. I recommend practicing this navigation section a lot. Also of note, you can get this section with one breath. It is very hard to. We're going to make it day so you can see nice and easy here. So, come down over here and follow this ridge. Should see an alien vent off to your right. That's a really good sign. Should see a brain coral. Brain coral is going to be like right down there. There it is. You follow that and you follow this ridge down and then come off to your left. You're going to hit this wreck. If you hit this wreck, you know you're probably safe. What you want to do, remember, grab your laser cutter again, and you're going to want to laser cutter this door open. If you didn't get alien containment, by the way, there's going to be one that spawns pretty much beneath me. It's going to be a little further off to the left, but, you know, like over here. So, go ahead and come into this wreck and go through and just start scanning shit. The propulsion arms, good to scan now. And there's also going to be torpedo arms, I'm pretty sure, here. If you need food, these rooms always have nutrient blocks in them. This one right here. So now's a good time to scan them or grab them and use them. If you need food. And go ahead and scan anything else that you have. This one breath is insanely hard. It's true, this one breath is quite hard. If you get this one breath, you're a god. So, in this room, there's a lot of stuff you could scan in here. Composite plant pot. You can scan the shelf. You can scan the other shelf, which is right here. If you didn't scan the double bed earlier in the Jellyshroom cave, you can scan one right here. You can scan the plant pot right here, this chick plant pot. You can scan the plant shelf. You can scan the quilted double bed right here. You can scan the basic plant pot right here. There's a lot you can scan in this room. That should be everything that you have to scan in this room. Once you've done that, you can go and grab this databank entry and leave. And then come out here. Look along the ground here. You're looking for any fragments you can find. Pretty much all of these fragments should be new, with the exception of maybe Moonpool, if you got some in the Jellyshroom cave. If you get Moonpool here, congratulations, you're good. You don't need to worry about it. If you get the Cyclops engine here, good. You don't have to worry about it. If you do not get the Cyclops engine here, keep a note of it. If you do not get Moonpool here, keep a note of it. Very important fragments that you have to get. There's our nuclear reactor. We're done with Moonpool already, apparently. I don't need this. Keep in mind, by the way, if you're on newer versions of the game, Eileen tends to be slightly more aggressive. Eileen is the Reaper Leviathan that's right over here. This is also another candidate to scan. Where the fuck are my Reapers? Eileen just isn't there. She's usually right in this section. Sometimes she can stray over too far and come off to the wreck here. Be very careful about it. Keep an eye on her if you can. So we have the Cyclops engine. I don't know where my Reapers are today. Yeah, and again, if your fragments are... There's the Reaper. There's Eileen. Oh, she's over there. So yeah. If you have any fragments over there, be careful. She can aggro you and attack you. Oh, there's also fluids outside of the wreck if you want to get those, if you're low on fluid. Once you're done scanning around the outside of the wreck, you can come up to the secret entrance of this wreck, which is up here. It's below this rock. Just come under this rock, and you should be able to come inside. Again, there's more arm fragments if you need them. Open this room. You should be able to scan the office chair, which is right here. And you will also be able to scan the picture frame. Once you've gotten those two things, you can grab the still suit right here and leave. Again, I'm going to make it day so we can see. Nice and easy again. Now we're going to follow this ridge. You can see there's like a nice little drop off right here. We're going to follow that off to the right. Also of note, right here, this is a great time to pick up 2 lithium. You need to grab 2 lithium in this section. This geyser has a lot of lithium around it usually, so now's a good time to grab some. And you're going to want to come up to this platform. Now, Eileen can aggro you from down here. It's kind of a little bit harder though, but she can definitely do it. Go under the platform and you can see kind of a purple glow right here. This is something you got to get a feel for. But with the Super Sea Glide glitch active, you can kind of slightly clip through the ground. And you can also clip through the ground and see that there's a purple tablet under there. So you want to go for that purple tablet and grab it. There's no way to skip this animation, unfortunately. You just kind of have to deal with it. Once you've gotten that, you can go ahead and set up your base. So come up to the outside of this portal and just come right here to set up your base. You want a compartment, and you might notice you can't make a hatch. I wonder why. It's because everything's in your waterproof locker. Go ahead and drop your waterproof locker and grab all the resources from inside of it. You may need to, drop something else in there, like your bulb bush sample. It's okay. Just drop it in there real quick. Go ahead and drop your hatch, and then 1 solar panel. Grab everything from in here. And now you can flood your base.
Power restored. All
Come in here.
systems online.
You can get air if the base is powered right now. This is a good time to get air. If you need to go up, now is also a good time to go up. Make your fabricator and make a wall locker. In the wall locker, you should put your rotten bulbush sample, your eye stalk, your ghostweed, and your fungal sample. I forgot to mention that, by the way. You need to get a fungal sample while you're in the mushroom forest. That should be everything you have to drop in there. Now you're done with the space. So go ahead and come out and deconstruct the hatch on it. You want to place the hatch ingredients right here. While you're in your inventory, it's also a good idea to drop and scan the laser cutter. You have to do this at some point in the run. Now's a good time to do it. And you can also scan the alien arch while you're at it. So leave those there. And you're going to want to come up to the right side of the QEP here. If you don't have lithium, you can't really get it now. You need to have your inventory saved, so you have to get it before. Go ahead and go into this cave, and then go off to the left. If you do that, you should run into this tablet. Go ahead and scan it and pick it up. And then come out and make a U-turn and go straight up. And you're going to want to fling into space. Grab your stasis rifle. We're going to do probably the most annoying scan in the game, which is Sky Ray. Sometimes these guys will dive to the ground nice and easy for you. Go ahead and try to hit one with your stasis rifle and scan it. You may need to run around the island a bit more. This one is also fine. Kind of scan this one here. But you may need to go over there and try to get one. These the Skyray scan is very RNG based. If you don't get it fast, it's not your fault. It's just not your day either. Once you grab that purple tablet and do the Skyray scan, you can go in and come to the entrance and put a tablet in right here. And then you can scan this for speed control. While you're scanning this, it's also a good idea to drop your air bladder. You cannot drop it inside the alien base. You can only drop it outside. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to do this, the air bladder strategy, but it is faster. What I'm talking about is doing something called propulsion cannon flying. So you may have seen this glitch around on YouTube. If you stand on an item while you have it with the propulsion cannon, you can fly on it. And this makes on-land traversing super fast. So you can use this glitch a lot in the alien bases. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the item, and we're going to fly through this alien base. You want to come off to the left, and then make sure you're staying low, and you want to jump off when you hit this first data terminal. Go ahead and grab the data terminal, and move this off this ledge. Remember not to pick up the air bladder. If you pick up the air bladder, you're not going to be able to drop it again, because you're inside an alien base. Scan the ion cube right here. And there's an animation overlap that like saves a second here. If you sprint and then as soon as you unsprint, pick up the ion cube, you can grab this like 2 seconds earlier, which is nice. Let me see if I can do it. I did not get it. That's fine. You don't have to do it though. It's kind of pointless. When you grab the ion cube, go ahead and grab your air bladder and start flying on it again. Take a left to the next data terminal right here. Go ahead and grab that. Hop on your air bladder one more time and come over to the elevator lift. And now you can grab the air bladder right before you hit the elevator lift and come in.
Your best probability of interfacing with this facility is achieved by accessing the control room in the lower section.
You come down to the bottom section of this wreck, or the QEP. Go ahead and take your ultra high capacity tank and rebreather off. And now we're going to do gun clip. Keep in mind, this is where the patches get a little bit mixed up. This clip is only available on the September 2018 patch. If you're not running on that patch, you're going to have to go in the normal way. So when you come in to do gun clip, come right here and go up. Right into the wall, and you should just fall right down. Go below 100 meters so you drown a little bit faster. And you're going to want to come up. This is the normal any % stuff, so you should know this. Stay low here. Make sure you don't hit the air pocket right above you. Then come off over here, and then off to the right. And then up, and through this right here. And come over here. A little bit different than 80% right now. You got to scan the energy core right here. And then you can go ahead and attempt to disable the gun. Obviously, you're infected right now, so you won't actually disable it, but it does give you data bank entry to do this, so you have to do it at some point. And then go ahead and come back out of this section. Go over here. And grab the purple tablet and the ion cube right here. And you're done with the mountain section. Boom. So right now, in the world record, we're about 40 minutes in, which means you're like almost halfway done. Good job. Now we have to do the longest section of the run, which is the Lost River Cure section. So, before you do this, you need to set up your alien containment. So, grab your med kit and go back to your base. Also, now's a good time to swap batteries. If you have some extra batteries, it's a good idea to do that. You can also go ahead and you're going to have a lot of radio messages right now, so you can kind of flip through them. You want to grab... it's a good idea to drop your tools just to make sure your inventory isn't full. You can also drop the lithium and the ion cubes in there. You need to make sure you have these 5 glass, 2 quartz, and enough titanium. Right now, we do not have enough titanium, so we're going to go out and grab 2 more salvage. Should be some over here. There we go. So now we have enough of these. Make sure you have your infected fish, your enzyme peeper, and your cuttlefish egg. So again, your inventory should be 2 rows of titanium along with 2 extra, 5 glass, and 2 quartz. Go ahead and come out. You want to make a compartment first. This needs to be the first thing you make, and you need to make it far enough away from that base. Then you can make the multi-purpose room. The hatch. And then come in. Make the containment, and then the hatch on that.
Oxygen production offline. Approximate transmission origin recorded to data bank. It may be prudent to separate work and leisure.
Go ahead and come into the hatch. Then drop the cuttlefish egg, the peeper, and your infected fish. You should be able to scan your infected fish again. You should get that data bank entry when you do that. As soon as you put the peeper and the infected fish in here, you can insta-scan the Reginald, or whatever infected fish you have, and that will give you that data bank entry. Once you've done that, you can go and come out and set up for the next trip. So, with whatever batteries you have, you're going to want to make a power cell. So right now I have 2 batteries in my inventory. Again, make sure to swap them out with your current tools. Your Sea Glide and your scanner are top priority, so go ahead and do those first. You're going to want to grab all of your ingots, 2 lubricant, and a silicone rubber. Go ahead and grab the power cell, and then the mobile vehicle bay. You want 2 lead. You do not need the laser cutter right now. Good to have some med kits. You want all of your propulsion or purple tablets on you, and you want your tools with you. This should be your inventory, again excluding the flashlight. So now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and bind everything correctly. My stasis rifle, my mobile vehicle bay, and we're going to go on a journey. These are to make a moon pool, and then these are for different doors in the next section. So, first things first, head over to Life Pod 3. You should have that marked. You may remember that we've already gone to this Life Pod, but we want 2 titanium from here. You can get that by overscanning a Sea Glide that always spawns right behind this. Then you're going to want to drop your head into the underwater aisles. Good to mention now, by the way, if you did not get Cyclops engine done at your let me activate day, by the way, just so we can see a little bit better. If you do not get Cyclops engine done, you're going to have to go to the underwater aisles wreck. I'm going to show you where that is. There can be a lot of Cyclops engines that spawn outside of the wreck. You should usually get it there. If you don't get it there, you're unlucky, and you're gonna have to reset or something, or hope. So from here, you're gonna pretty much follow this chasm right here. It's gonna go straight to the underwater aisles. You want to dip your head just in here and grab the earth and coral tube. This is all you need from the underwater aisle if you have the Cyclops engine. If you do not have the Cyclops engine, follow these islands as they go down. See this one? We're just going to do some island hopping, and if you follow them down far enough, you'll get to the wreck. Outside this wreck, there should be some Cyclops engine for you. Other things at this wreck, there can be drill arm outside the wreck. There's also the creature decoy over there if you want to get that. Not necessary, though. So, say you don't need to do that, and you're goated with this sauce. You can come over here, grab your earth and coral tube, and then just go straight away over to the left into the grassy plateau. If you don't have Seamoth, now is like one of the last times you have to get Seamoth. There's one more time you have after this. It's a pretty good wreck. Not really, actually. It's kind of terrible. Also of... It's a freaking tiger plant. Also of note, you can try to get Sand Shark here if you want. Now is a decent time to get it. I will go ahead and get it. There we go. And then once you've done that, you're going to want to follow this ridge. Just keep it in the right of your view. You're going to see it opens up and then closes again. There should be a vent right there. Again, go off to the left a little bit, and you should run into the mushroom forest, and you're going to see a wreck pop up right in front of you in the big tree. Ready? There it is. So, this wreck is very safe to despawn. You can despawn this wreck. So we're going to use that 2 titanium that we got from the Sea Glide and build a compartment right on the wreck. The database entry you're looking for is right here. This is one of the exceptions to the rule. This database entry doesn't despawn when you despawn the wreck. So go ahead and grab it. And also try to get power cell chargers here. There's usually some around, so look for those. You can also find some Cyclops fragments here, sometimes, like bridges and stuff, but it doesn't look like we're gonna get that lucky. There's also this. Oh yeah, we do get lucky. There's a bridge here. There's 2 bridges here. It's kind of fun. There's also this fragment right here, or this databank entry, or databox. Good God, databox. I need some water. Okay. This data box has the vehicle upgrade console. You can get it now. There's also a time to get it later. So whenever you're done with what you want to do in this wreck, go ahead and you should be able to see a big tree in the distance. Go ahead and start going towards that and go up for air. Okay. So you want to go just slightly past this tree, the big tree that you're going towards, and then head down. And you should run into this life pod. This is life pod 13. Go ahead and duck your head inside and grab the PDA inside. And now you're going to want to go over to the dunes. So the dunes is the only other place that you can scan a Reaper Leviathan. If you didn't scan it in Mountain, you have to scan it now. So, the safest way to get to the dunes is a lineup. Basically, the lineup involves finding this like little structure thing right here, and like coming right here to the bottom of it. This is a really old lineup, so I don't know how accurate it is, but you like line yourself up with the edge of this and just go forward. And this should take you right to the wreck, I believe. Yeah, this is actually good. It takes you right to the edge of the dunes, and then the wreck is right over to the right here. So it's a bit more right than that, actually. The way I like to find it is actually just by finding this curve in the dunes. This is a really notable curve. So, we're going to go from the life pod. I need to turn on oxygen here. So going from the life pod. Coming here. And then it's about in this direction. And you should see the edge of the dunes. There it is. And there's the curve. So follow the curve off to the right. A little bit more right. And you should start to see wreckage. And this is the wreck that we need to go to in the dunes. You should be pretty safe here. There's a Reaper Leviathan right over there and one right over there. So, and there's one behind the wreck too, just to top it all off. So be very careful. I forgot to mention during Mountain. This is actually very important. Warper. The Warper you can scan in a lot of different places. This is one of the places you can scan the Warper. So if you see Warper here, it's a good time to scan it. You can also scan it at Mountain. You can also scan it in the Blood Kelp. You can also scan it in the Lost River. You can also scan it in the Lava Zone. There's a lot of places to scan it, but you should do it before you're cured. It's a lot easier that way. So, I'm going to go ahead and scan the Warper right now. Try to stand in front of the Warper. That way, the Warper actually like sees you and will aggro onto you. Obviously, you can't do anything in there, in the bubble, so yeah. Outside of this wreck, you can find moon pools. If you don't have moon pool already, if you didn't get it from the mountain wreck and everywhere else so you can find it, good time to get it now. This is the last time you have to get it. You can also find prawn suit drill arms. Was a good time to get those. Thermal plants as well. Again, also a good time to get those. PDA trying to scare us. We're gonna go and turn it to day. Gonna go and get the thermal plant done. Oh, we're done? Okay, never mind. Drop this to titanium. So, this wreck forms like a long V. Go ahead and come right into the middle of the V, and you should be able to get the depth module for the Cyclops. And then come into the middle of the V. You'd say that's symbolic if you want. And open the door off to your left. You should be able to grab the databank entry right here. Once you grab that, go ahead and come out, and you're going to want to go off to the right. Now, we're going to pass right by a Reaper Leviathan. This is where I scan it in the 100% run. So we're going to scan it right now. I'm going to show you how to do it. There's one right there. So, the way I like to do it is go towards its head, try to get its aggro. It's going to come back. Where did you go? Hello? Bro just like popped out of existence. You good? That's kind of terrifying as hell. Where the hell did he go? Okay, one moment. Hold on now. Give me a second. Reaper, where are you? Where art thou? Is it just gone? There you are. Okay, here's how you do it. So you get its aggro, and you need to shoot at its horn. There you go. So once you have one stasis shot on it, charge a big one, shoot at its horn. Sometimes it'll pass right through. You need to keep moving back in case that happens. There we go. Come off to its side, and go ahead and scan it. If you did the big stasis shot, it won't be able to touch you. Also worth noting, do not go in front of its face. It can still bite you when it's in stasis. So be careful. Now, when you're done with that, keep going off. You want to find this big crater. This is, again, still off to the north. So, you want to come over here. There's a big Reaper right over there. Just avoid that guy. Come down, and you want to go into this cave right here. We're going to use oxygen. We're going to use no radiation. Or radiation, it's just called. So, when you're in this cave, we're going to do a mobile vehicle bay clip. Now, there's two ways of doing this clip. There's the setup clip, and then there's the YOLO fuck it clip. If you want to do the YOLO fuck it clip, I recommend doing it out here. If you do it wrong when you're over there, you're gonna have to go all the way up right under the Reaper Leviathan to get your mobile vehicle bay, which is bad. What is a nutrient block? Hold on. Nutrient block. Subnautica. I need it. It's just called nutrient block. Nutrient block. How convenient is that? Okay, so the YOLO clip, it looks something like this. You want to find a wall and a floor, right? And what you're going to want to do is you want to crash into the floor right next to the wall. And then when you've done that, you're going to want to pull out your mobile vehicle bay, deploy it, and scroll to click on it. Off. Trying to record a tutorial. I did it. Oh, I know I did it wrong. It's because I hadn't deployed the mobile vehicle bay before. You need to make sure you deploy the mobile vehicle bay first before you do that. Because you can't climb it instantly otherwise. So, looks like this. I scrolled too early and didn't right-click fast enough. You need to right-click fast enough. You're going to have to do one of these clips later on in the run anyway. I don't like to do it here, though, to be honest. It's kind of prone to messing up. So it looks like that if you did it correctly. So you should just... Excuse you. You should just clip right out of bounds. Like that. The other way of doing it is the setup-based clip, which is a very wacky setup, I'll admit, but it usually works quite consistently for me. What you want to do is you want to find these stalagmites. Are they tights or are they mites? I don't know. One of the two. You want to come to the biggest one right here and kind of push up against it like this. You want to be so like this one and this one are like right across from each other. Look at the top of it, back up for like half a second and deploy. If you do it right, the mobile vehicle bay will clip right into place and you can come up out of bounds and grab it. So once you've done that, go ahead and come under the cache here and grab this data terminal. Once you've done that, you can kind of come back out towards the crater here and navigate out of bounds over to this section. This section of the dunes over here is very safe. So you don't need to worry about Reaper Leviathans over here. You're usually pretty good. Cave Crawler is good to scan here. You can also find the tiniest creature in the game, the Rock Grub. Warper also here. It's also a good one to get. So in this section, when you're over here, you're gonna want to find this big ridge. That's the blood kelp just over there. So what you're gonna want to do is follow the edge of the blood kelp. Quite low though. You want to find this little formation on the ground right here. You can see that the map just drops off into nothing, and there's like a big U shape where that happens. Go directly into the U shape where the map drops off into infinity. The entire thing will get dark. You also want to be going up during this time. You'll get that quote right there, the warning entering ecological dead zone quote. That's how you know you did it right. Once you've done that, you can leave. Go right towards life pod 12 and go up for air because you're going to need air at this point. This will be the last time you get air for this entire next section. I will point out, this entire next section is possible to do in 2 breaths. It's kind of tight. It's not as tight as Mountain, but it's pretty tight. It's possible. You might have to shoot for 3, though. It's okay to do 3, though. When you're around 2,000 meters from Life Pod 12, go ahead and head straight down. And you should run into the blood kelp and also the adult ghost leviathan. You're going to want to get this scan now. This guy's hitboxes are even worse than the Reapers, in my opinion. Go ahead and just try to fire a stasis shot and then fire a big one and hope it doesn't clip directly through. Go ahead and scan the ghost leviathan. This is a big mama cutscene happening on my screen right now. Don't worry about it. And you're going to want to go straight down. We're going to make it day so you can see. You're going to see there's a lot of different directions you can go. What you're looking for is you're looking for the cache. So you want to kind of find the big hole in the ground. That's the Lost River, and go directly across on that. You'll see the train kind of goes up and then goes back down. You're going to want to go into the place where it goes back down. You can scan the blood find right now and grab the blood oil. You can scan uraninite. That was a good time. And you can scan regress shell if you didn't do it earlier, and Gabe feather. There's also a point later in which you can scan it, so you don't have to scan it now if you don't want to. Once you've done those, head into the cave directly behind you. Don't worry about that. So this is another door that we're going to skip with the mobile vehicle bay clip. This one is much easier in my opinion. You should always use this setup here because it's really good. Go ahead and scan this blood root and get up into the blood root. Kind of hold forward until it lodges you into a position. You shouldn't be able to, like, if you hold forward and down, you shouldn't go anywhere. Once you've done that, you're going to see you're, like, slightly clipping out of the map here. This is a good sign. Go ahead and look around the top of this, like, you see this, like, black thing right here? Look around the top of it and deploy. Go off to the left, and you should be able to climb up, and you'll head right out of bounds. Grab the mobile vehicle bay, and then come into the cache. Grab this from the outside. And then go again towards Life Pod 12. Like in the middle of Life Pod 12 and the Life Pod. If you do that, you should hit Life Pod 2. You're going to go to Life Pod 2. Come inside and grab it. Now you're going to go towards the big hole. The big hole is the Lost River, so we're going to head straight over there. You need to get 3 or 4 scans while you're heading out. You need to get the spinefish. You need to get the blighter, which is this area's version of the biter. And you need to get the blood crawler. You can also get your Enonite here, some around, and you'll pass by this vine and want to head off to the right in this area. You're going to go for the juvenile Ghost Leviathan scan. It's a different databank entry, so you have to do this one as well. This guy has a much more forgiving hitbox, I say, as it passes right through him. Again, you got to shoot for the head on these guys. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and scan. And now, orient yourself correctly. You should see that there's a path over there, behind the Ghost Leviathan. If you come directly out of that path, you'll see the big head right here. Go ahead and come towards the big head and scan. Now from there, there's a wall off to the right. Kind of follow that wall until you see this kind of like indent right here and come off to the left of that. And you'll see it drops down right here. This is where you need to be. Look along the right wall. If you look along the right wall, you have the chance of spotting some nickel. Now's a good time to grab this scan as well, and look for some nickel along the wall here. You can also find it on the drop down. There's some right here. You need 3 nickel in this section. There's 1. And do this. We're gonna look for some more nickel. There's another. You don't have to leave this section with 3 nickel. In fact, I'm gonna just skip this one, just for show. So, once you're done with that, you're gonna come into this big area. Come off to the right, and you'll hit the cove tree. Now's a good time to scan Ghost Ray and the cove tree. I mean, it's the only time to scan the cove tree, of course. So you can scan the Ghost Ray. And this is the cove tree. Now you're done with that, you can pretty much come right back out. Along the ground here, you can see nickel. If you didn't get any nickel here, now's a good time to try to find some. There's a lot along the ground and just around everywhere. Again, you only need 3. You can usually find it in this, in this section. Now, around this time, you're gonna want to die. You're gonna have around 30 seconds of air if you do everything correctly when you get to the cove tree. Try to make it up here. If you can't make it up here, it's okay. But whenever you're running low on air, like have around 20 seconds left, go ahead and make your moon pool. And then grab your propulsion cannon, drop these 2 things, you don't need them anymore, and you can flood the base. Now you'll want to drop in, drop out, and you can die now. We're just going to die in a pool because we're not low on oxygen. And we're going to respawn back in that moon pool. You get Super Sea Glide again just by going up into the air and then coming down, and you can deconstruct the moon pool. You're going to want to scan this big thing right here. And kind of orient yourself. You got the cove tree over there. That's the entrance you came down. You want to go in the next entrance, the one with the alien pillars in it. We're going to grab oxygen again. And now we're going to hit the disease research. The disease research facility, the DRF. So, first thing we're going to do is scan a damaged cable. Then, come around. You can also scan this. You need to scan this at some point in the Lost River. Now is a good time. Earlier is a good time. Really, any time you have one in your path is a good time. Now, the entrance is around the other side of this, the disease research facility, so come over here. And you want to start going through. On the right here is going to be a purple tablet door. You're going to want to insert a purple tablet. This time we're not going to skip it. And go in and grab the data terminal here. Grab this ion cube, and then come over here. There's 3 things you have to scan in this section. Scan the rib cage. It's always best to try to scan it through this bit of glass. It's the most consistent for me. Scan the egg out the front, and then scan the race specimens. Go ahead and grab this terminal right here. Off the doorway to your right, and then grab the bone here. Go ahead and scan it. and then come off to the left, grab this terminal. It's going to tell you to self-scan. Do not self-scan right now. You can do it later. You want to scan the biological matter, scan the conveyor belt, which is the weirdest scan in the game, and then scan the warper. Boom, and you are done. So, then you just come out the way you came. You can grab this iron cube if you want to. Come off to the left, come up, and you'll come out to this section. Now, there's two ways to do this section. You can go down the normal way. If you go all the way down there, there's a dip that goes down. Do you fucking mind? There's a dip that goes down into the lava zone over there, or you can mobile vehicle bay clip. I like to mobile vehicle bay clip because it's a little bit faster. Come down to this section, and then you're gonna have to do a swag clip or a floor clip here. So that was a bad setup. Didn't quite get it. Do you mind? These guys make no noise when they aggro. I've been screwing up these clips all day. Oh, what's wrong with me? There we go. So again, that's running your face into the ground, deploying the mobile vehicle bay, and then scrolling to get on top of it. From there, you can go straight down into the lava zone. Now, there's a lot of scans you need to get in the lava zone. So let's kind of go over all of them. You need to get the Phoenix. This is the Crimson Ray, but I call it the Phoenix. You need one of these guys, the lava lizards. Yeah. I always forget what these guys are called. You also want to try to take a hit from one if you can. Get your health just a little bit lower. You need to come all the way down to the bottom here and scan a Reaper Leviathan skeleton. You also need to scan Kevin, who is nicely showing himself. Be sure to watch out for the fireballs. They do 80 damage. They hurt. Go ahead and put one stasis shot on him and come on his back. And then, I love coming on his back, and then scan him. Hit him with the stasis rifle and then scan him. Boom. And then you need to scan the lava larva. And then there's two edible fish that you need to scan down here. There is the magma ring, which is one of these guys. And then there's the tiniest little bitch ever, the red eye, which I'm gonna find for you just to show you how hard it is to find. This tiny little thing right here. They only appear when you're close to them, so look around very carefully for the red eye. You will miss it. Now, you can go ahead and come into the lava castle. It's the entrance right here. And come down here. You can go ahead and drop the fish out of your inventory. Don't need them right now. And go ahead and grab some kyanite. You're also going to want to scan the kyanite. You can also grab crystalline sulfur and scan that. Kyanite's more important, though. You need 4 kyanite. So whenever you're done with that, you can go ahead and come up into this... Oh. Go ahead and come up into this entrance and come out and make your moon pool. Go up into the moon pool and go down. That'll save your inventory and your spawn. Are especially bad to find in low detail. That's true. The red eyes, that is. See ya, Yosh. Alien robot. Go ahead and scan that. And then before you put your tablet into this thing, go ahead and self-scan. Put your tablet into here. And then scan your blue tablet and pick it up. You should start a cutscene right when you pick up this blue tablet, just a few seconds later. There you go. Make sure you're on pretty low health here. You're going to want to die at the end of this section. That's why it's important to take damage. Grab this ion cube, grab this, and then put the tablet in here. Go ahead and come straight out. Scan the alien thermal plant. And then grab the data terminal. And then off to the left, you want to come up the staircase and go grab the ion battery blueprint. And then die. Or not, apparently. Be stuck on 1 health. Good God. There we go. It's so stupid. Alright. So you're going to spawn back out at your base. You can go ahead and leave, and you will get your Super Sea Glide back. Go ahead and deconstruct your moon pool. Now, you shouldn't need your moon pool anymore, so you can drop the lead from it. You can also drop the blue tablet. And now you're going to want to find the rest of your kyanite and the rest of your crystalline silver. Now, no matter what spawn you have, I don't care if you have an A spawn or a C spawn, you're going to Clip C. So come over to Clip C. You can try to find the rest of your crystalline sulfur here. If you don't get it here, that's okay. You can always do out-of-bounds sulfur. We only have 3. That's okay. We're going to do Clip C. Which is that. Grab your mobile vehicle bay. That's an 90% clip. You should know that. If you don't know that, go find another video. I'm not going to teach it here. And then go straight down. You should run into this section. Go ahead and avoid going in bounds. And then you want to find the rest of your crystalline sulfur out of bounds. Make sure you stay out of bounds when you grab it. You want to keep going along out of bounds, though, because you need to scan one of these sonic deterrents right here. So we're going to scan it. Again, making sure you're staying out of bounds. And then you can go down. And we're going to go into the PCF. Same way any percent does. While you're out of bounds here, look for one of these purple-eyed fish. These are the Oculuses. Remember, you didn't get one earlier, so you got to get one now. If you didn't get one earlier, that is. If you want to get one earlier, you can. But now is the time you have to get Oculus here. You want to go down to the bottom of this section and grab a sea crown. Make sure you have your knife out. I'm not supposed to have the mobile vehicle bay on me. Why am I like this? Okay, hold on. When you do the clip out of bounds, make sure you do not grab your mobile vehicle bay back. It's very important that you just leave it there. So let me go demonstrate so that we're all clear. I forgot to leave it there. That's my bad. You gotta leave it there, though. I just straight up forgot. So we're gonna go back to Clip C. Item battery. It's also not a bad idea to bring batteries along on this trip. You're gonna be using a lot of power, so yeah. Okay, this is Clip C. So when you do this clip out of bounds, leave your mobile vehicle bay here. You do not need to have it. Now you can go back to the other section. It's all the way over here. I just straight up forgot. That's so bad. Oh, whatever. Grab your survival knife. And you're going to want to cut one of the sea crowns in here. So scan a sea crown. And then cut it. You can also grab the ion cube in here if you want. I don't think you need to, though. Go ahead and come out of this cave. This is just the normal 80% route now. Go ahead and grab the, or put the ion cube in here. You can scan the incubator. You can go over here and do the sand clip here. Just clip through the ground and scroll. Scan the aquarium arch and then go through. It's, by the way, it's noteworthy, just to say this, you could be a little bit tight on oxygen depending on how long you take. So be careful. Go ahead and grab the hatch ingredients that you left there and make your hatch. Once you've made that, you can come straight in and grab the rest of the cure stuff. You'll probably have to put your stasis rifle and your propulsion cannon back. Go ahead and make the hatching enzymes and then grab your tools back. Go ahead and leave. Do not deconstruct the hatch at this time, though. Leave it there. Now, before you go back in, go ahead and drop your hatching enzymes and scan them. This is a scan you have to do for some reason. I don't really know. Once you've done that, whoa, you can come back in. Now, it's good to keep in mind that there are a lot of like different animals in here that you can scan, like bone shark, the rabbit ray. There's a lot of edible fish in here, so if you missed anything, keep it in mind and scan it now. So once you've done all of that, go ahead and cure, scan an egg, and then scan one of the Sea Emperor juveniles that comes out of the egg. There you go. And now Big Mama's just waiting there. Go around her, and you should see Speckled Rattler here. Go ahead and scan it. Or Spotted Dockleaf. Not a Speckled Rattler. What am I thinking? Spotted Dockleaf. Go ahead and scan that. Speckled Rattler is way later. What am I thinking? That's a land plant. So you want to go ahead and... from there, come up to this section over here, where the ion cube is, and scan the vent. You also need to scan a peeper in this section. There's usually, again, some peepers around here. You can grab the ion cube here and go into here and use this portal. You're going to open your inventory while you're in this portal and find your propulsion cannon. We're going to do some more item flying. I'm a little low on health, so I think I am going to medkit again. Go ahead and jump into the water just to drop your air bladder. Go ahead and move your air bladder up, and then you come up, and then jump in the air bladder, and you can fly. So this door is gated, but it has a failsafe. Whenever you run at it from behind, it'll automatically open for you, so you can just fly straight through it. Go ahead and scan the ion cube fabricator. Really, the air bladder just got in the way of that. Go ahead and move your air bladder over here. Start scanning some of these. These are 5 different scans that you're going to have to get. If you didn't get Alien Robot earlier, now's a good time. Again, you don't have to fly throughout this section, but it is faster. You can just run if you want to. If you want to be lame like that. Go ahead and fly, and you want to go straight through this doorway right here. Not any of the sideways doors, the one that's straight on the wall right there. So go straight through this door. You want to come over here, and the only thing you need from in here is this data terminal. So go ahead and grab your air bladder, and you can fly back out of this room. And then you want to fly up to the balcony over there on the left. The one that's straight across from the force field. So fly over here. Grab the data terminal, and now you can fly into this room. You want to scan the preserved fetus, the saddest part of this game, and the egg. Go ahead and run back over to your air bladder, grab it, and fly back out. Over here, if you need to take any damage, now's a good time to take some damage. You want to be on like less than 25 health. So I need to take some more damage. I might just fly up for a second and just fall again. So you want these 5 scans all around you. I'm going to fly up and jump off again. Get my health a bit lower. Then fall again. That should be low enough. You want to grab that and then scan the inflow pipe and the outflow pipe. And then jump off to your death. And with all of that out of the way, you should spawn back into your base right here. Now, if you want, you can grab the gold from this fabricator. It's not necessary, but you can if you want. Go ahead and deconstruct your hatch now. And now you can cure yourself. If you want to try to be fancy with it, you can try to do a cure skip, where you skip through the wall here. Because you have Super Sea Glide, you cannot actually do like a proper cure skip. You can't like bounce the cure into the wall and then, you know, all that. But you can use the propulsion cannon to move one of the cure bubbles into the wall. I didn't get it. Oh well. If you know how to do that, you can do that, but you obviously don't have to. Go ahead and take your oxygen tank off, and you'll come back up here and do gun clip again. Again, if you're on one of the newer versions, you will have to do the normal way now. So now you can go ahead and come through here. The same way we did earlier in the run. And now we're going to actually go and disable the gun. There's a few more things. I forgot to turn on oxygen. Whoops. There's a few more things that we have to do in here. So go ahead and come back out the way we came. Through the ceiling here. And then through the other ceiling. Nice voice crack. That was crazy. Come all the way over here and you can scan this alien device. And then come directly down and scan this other alien device. And now you should drown, but because I'm stupid and forgot to do that, I'm just going to speed 10 my way through it. There we go. So you'll spawn back in the life pod, go ahead and put your oxygen tank back on, grab the med kit, and leave. Now come back over to your base. And now we're going to do the Aurora. Good to mention now. The Aurora explosion shouldn't be a problem. If it's a problem, you should already know what you're doing in this category. Because it's only like a problem for me. Because at this point, I'm like an hour into the run. And sometimes the Aurora hasn't exploded. You can use the radiation warning to tell when your Aurora is going to explode. Or you can use the built-in live split explosion timer plugin that we have to tell when the Aurora is going to explode. Either of those work. Just find whatever time you need. Chances are, if you're just starting off at 100%, you're not going to have to worry about Aurora explosion. But it's just good to mention. Go ahead and come back to your base. And you're going to want to go ahead and make these fiber mesh. And you can also make the radiation suit. There we go. You can dump a lot of the stuff that you have into here. And then go ahead and come out, and you want to go over here. Your cuttlefish must have hatched by now. Go ahead and scan your cuttlefish. Grab it, and then come out. Deconstruct the hatch. You can deconstruct the alien containment while there's fish in them. So say goodbye to our little peeper. Bye-bye. Then come out, and you can drop the cuttlefish. Tell it to stop following you. That's kind of important, because otherwise it will follow you around for the rest of the run. And that can be kind of bad. Oh, and also while you're out here, another thing you should do is turn this base into a duplication base. If you don't know how to do that, here's how you do it. Take a glass, put it on here. Don't construct it all the way. Deconstruct the basic compartment right behind it. Grab an L compartment. Twist it 3 times. Go ahead and put it here. Finish the window. Unfinish the window. Boom. Duplication base. Once you're done with that, you can kind of come back down into here and get rid of all of the stuff that you have in your inventory. Make sure you replace your rebreather with the radiation helmet. I'm going to turn on radiation now because now it's fine. Make sure you grab all of your tools. You're going to want your laser cutter. You're going to want your repair tool. You're going to want your other tools. Any medkits that you've like put in your storage, now's a good time to grab them. You're going to want as many as you can here. And that should be all you need. Go ahead and head out. It's also good to note that if you're running low on batteries, you're going to get a lot from the Aurora. So don't worry. It's okay. You're going to want to come over, and we're going to look for Life Pod 4. Life Pod 4, we're going to make it day so you can see nice and easy. Life Pod 4 is along this kind of ridge right here. So we're going to kind of run along this ridge. If you haven't scanned Reefback, now's a good time to do that. There's also, worth noting, there's a lot of things on the backs of Reefbacks that you can typically scan. Like a lot of different plants and things. So if you've missed a plant, you can kind of look there if you need to. We're looking for Life Pod 4. Life Pod 4 is going to be floating up at the water somewhere along this ridge. So kind of follow along this ridge. You can also scan Sand Shark here if you want to. I also forgot to mention, but you can also scan it in dunes. So you can grab that, the creature decoy in the medkit, and then come over to the exploded side of the Aurora. And we're going to just jump on in right here. Now, what I recommend doing is grabbing your propulsion cannon and dropping your air bladder and then flying on it and going up. You can also do this with a crab. It's worth mentioning. Now, this spot that you have to find just takes some practice. Just like try to find the route. You're gonna need some practice doing this flying. It's kind of hard and kind of tough to know where it is, but if you really need like help locating it, you can fly over and kind of follow the normal route up. So like this, you take this path and come over here, and then you'd go along like this little piece of debris right here, and then off to the left, and you'd come in this door. Fly through this door, and then fly over here through this fire. You can drop that there, and you can make it. You can use a medkit if you need to. That fire does a lot of damage. It does like 50 damage every single time you go through it, so be careful. If you're at 50 health, I'd take a medkit. Grab this data terminal. There's also a battery here if you need it. And grab this data bank entry. Now, grab the air bladder. Fly on it again. Grab this data bank entry right here. And then fly on it again. And then come on down to this door. Any boxes that you find in this area are going to be batteries. So if you want, you can jump off and grab a battery if you need it, or a couple. You will save any of the new batteries that you put into your tools. So as soon as you get batteries, if you want them in your tools, go ahead and just put them right into your tools. Go ahead and grab this, and then jump right down here. There's going to be bleeders in this section. You do not have to scan a bleeder right now. In fact, normally I don't. But, again, you can if you see one. Go ahead and grab your repair tool and start repairing this door. This is the Seamoth Bay door. Go ahead and grab the PDA inside. And now you're going to want to go to the drive room, which is just up here. Go ahead and get your health up. You can jump on that to avoid the fire here. Come off to the right and scan a breach. And now you're going to want to repair. Here's the route I use to do it. Repair this one, and then I come over here and repair this one. Repair the one directly under it. And then off to the right and down, there's two more breaches right over here. There's a bunch of bleeders in this area, so just, you know, be ready with the knife. And now come around to the left side of this. There's one right here. Get bleedered again. Getting quite unlucky with bleeders today. Okay, you just screw right up. Go ahead and repair that one. Come around this side, and there's one right down here. This is the only one on this, this set. Come over to the next one. There's one right across from you. Keep going around. On the bottom, there's going to be another one. And then come up. And right here is going to be your last one. Once you've done this one, you can take the ladder out of here. Boom. And then jump on this again and come off over here.
Drive core breach.
At this point, once you get over to the store, bind your repair tool to 2. And now you can do the knife, like, switch glitch thing, except with the repair tool. It works the exact same way, except it's slightly faster. Slightly faster than the knife, that is. There you go. Grab this databank entry right here. You can also grab this medkit if you need it. And grab this databank entry right here. I believe there's also a battery on the floor. Yeah, there's one right there. You can grab that if you need it. Come up to this door right over here and go ahead and repair this door. In the next room, there's a dialogue trigger that we have to hit. This triggers the LifePod 7 radio message. So go ahead and go through here. It's like around here. If you dance around here while you're scanning the prawn soup blueprint, you should get it. There it is. Picking up a faint black box signature. You have to get that dialogue quote. Once you do that, you will get the LifePod 7 radio message. Go ahead and scan your prawn suit. Lots around here. Kind of start scanning that one and then jump on these boxes and finish scanning it while you're on the way up. There you go. And go into the living quarters. As soon as you're in, jump off to the left. Scan the bar table. Jump over onto the counter over there and grab the databank entry on top of it and scan the counter. You want to turn around and go back out the door you came and go off to the left. You do not need to go in the pantry. If you want to go in the pantry, go ahead. But you don't have to. Go ahead and come off to the left. And then come off to the right. In this door, scan the single bed. Grab that databank entry. Run directly through this fire right here. Grab this databank entry and then run right back through. Go to medkit. You do not need to come into this door. You do not need to go any further on that side. Cabin 1 has the code 1869. The way to remember that code, you're 18 when you can 69. Go ahead and go through this door. Grab this. There's also a medkit here if you need it. Right in here. The code to this door is 2679. Yeah. It's 2679. The way to remember that is you just remember it. It's the freaking 90% door. So once you're done with that, you can kind of run back out the living quarters. That's a good way to remember that. I know, right? Oh, I forgot to mention, the code to the other door is 1454. I don't know why I didn't mention that. My bad. So when you come and jump into this water, you want to go to the top right over here and come down, and you should be able to go through this pipes. This set of navigation is kind of weird, so just get used to it. Come up, turn around. Come up, go to the right, go down, grab this, turn around, go to the back, go to the left. Do the repair tool laser cutter switch glitch thing again, and you can open the seal door a little bit faster. How do you remember 1454? You don't. You also have to remember this door, which is honestly the hardest code to remember because no one ever opens this door. 6483. These are also in the databank entries. If you forget them, if you really forget them that often, just put them in like a document, like a notepad or something. I don't really know. So once you get this open, go ahead and grab this and open this door. And make sure you grab that databank entry right there, the lab access one. And now you can die in this fire. And that's the Aurora section done. You'll be pleased to know there was only one section left in the run, and that is the southern section of the map. It's also one of the shorter sections, so rejoice. Oh, I forgot to mention something. Before the cure trip, if you need batteries for your mobile vehicle bay, you can take them out of these tools right here. And then put them back in the tools when you go to the Aurora and replenish your battery supply. Go ahead and put your rebreather on. You can put the radiation helmet away. Grab 4 of the titanium and 1 quartz. And that should be everything you need. think so. I'm not missing anything, am I? It feels like I'm missing something. I'm not missing anything. No, I'm not missing anything. I'm just anxious for no reason. You can clear your radio if you want. Then you're going to want to go and grab your mobile vehicle bay. Now, if you know where Clip C is, it's over by where Clip C is. Clip C is by the coral tube. Go to the coral tube and go off to the side. You should see your mobile vehicle bay right here. Go ahead and grab that. And then go off to the south of the shallows. You're looking for things like this coral tube right here. You're looking for the kelp, which is this kelp forest right here. You're looking for the pillar. You're looking for creative any percent spawn. This giant formation right here. Once you get to this giant formation, come off to the left, and you should find this wreck right here. Go ahead and enter this wreck. And there's a database entry right here. Go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and come out. If you need any beacons or anything, look for them right here. If you don't find them, there's a wreck just over here that you can go to. Right here. Go ahead and look at this too. You're gonna get beacon here. And also get vending machine here. You can also get vending machine in the Aurora. I forgot to mention that. So once you're done with that, I'm gonna go back over to this wreck and just pretend like we didn't need to go to that wreck in general. So we're at this wreck and we just came out and we had we have all of our blueprints from the shallows. Go ahead and go right through this kelp forest. There's these two like pillar things, and then there's another one off to the right. Go ahead and follow that one off to the right. You should see this hole in the ground. You need to go more right. If you see that, you should see a wreck pop into existence. There you go. You can also just follow the ridge right here between the kelp and the grassy plateau if you need to. So when you get to here, this is your last opportunity to scan some sea moth. So scan your sea moth. It's also worth noting that the scanner room, if you have the blueprint for it, it'll still spawn at the wreck, despite the fact that that's not how it works for most other blueprints. So if you load in a wreck and you already have like a stasis rifle, it's not going to spawn more stasis rifles. But that doesn't work that way for scanner rooms. Like for example, I already have scanner room and it still spawned it. So keep that in mind. Go ahead and come into the top section of this wreck and grab this PDA. Come out. And what you're looking for is that little dimple in the ground. You see that? Go slightly to the right of it and go for air. You're going to want to try to get this next section in one breath. You do not have to, but it's ideal. So go nice and deep into the crag field and go straight down. You should see the life pod behind one of these like big pillar things. It's right here. So this is life pod 7. Go ahead and scan the Markiplier doll and the PDA. Come straight out. You want to find this big thing and just stay off to the left of it. And then come right here and go straight down, and you should hit this wreck. You want to go behind this wreck. Go behind this wreck. You should see right in here, there's an entrance. Go through this entrance and grab the PDA. There are prawn suit drill alarms that spawn in here if you don't have... Wait, I already have prawn suit drill alarms. Why are they spawning? Well, they can spawn if you don't have them. So scan them if you don't have them. Now you want to come out and to the left. This section is kind of hard with navigating, so practice it. Be very careful with it. Everything's spawning here. I think Clove might have loaded this wreck when she was making this world. Anyway, so you should have that beacon right there if you grabbed all of the databank entries from the Jellyshroom cave. So go straight down towards it. We're going to use oxygen here because I'm kind of showing off the navigation. You should be able to do all of this in one breath, though. It's kind of tight, but it's very doable. You want to come off to the left of it because you won't be able to go straight towards it. Go into this cave, and then just go straight towards the Degasi habitat. You want to scan crab squid here. Down here, grab the PDA, and then come into this hatch. You want to grab this PDA right here, and then come down here. And there's a few things you need in here. Grab this PDA, scan this orange tablet, grab it, grab the cuttlefish egg, and scan the nuclear waste disposal. Come up this ladder, and then go straight out. Now there's another section of the wreck you need to go into, which is down here, by this broken tube. Go into the tube, scan the coffee machine. Do you mind? Grab the swim charge fins and grab the PDA. Hello. And then come straight out and go straight up to the left. Just follow straight up to the left right here. You should see this big, like, mountain on the left. If you go to the left, you hit a ghost leviathan. If you go to the right, you're going the right way. Go to the right. You'll hit the sea treader path. Go ahead and scan a sea treader. And then keep following just this ridge right here. Just want to follow, like, where the deep ground reef is, and you'll hit this wreck. Go to this wreck, and come straight down into it, and grab the PDA. There's also grappling arms here. I don't have grappling arm, I know, because I was supposed to get that mountain, but I didn't have all the fragments, so it's good to get that there. Once you have that, go straight back towards your life pod and up. You should run into the floating island. There it is. You're looking for a little section of the floating island in the middle that is open. It looks like this. Now, you want to find the PDA in it. So, turn around once you get here. And you're looking for this section right here. You can see there's like a nice like little floating section. And then there's a section that dips down a little bit lower. Look for this section and almost surface. Do not surface all the way and inch up until you're able to grab it. Once you grab that PDA, you can head back down. You're still going to have Super Sea Glide. Go ahead and scan this ancient floater. And then pretty much go directly back where you came from, over here. Maybe a little bit more right. You should wind up around this section of the island right here. You have that. That is the left Degasi base all the way up there. And the right one's over there. So, come along. You're looking for a little section where you're indented into the wall. And that's going to be, where is it? I think it's right here. I think this is it. You can make a base on this section. So make sure it's under the water so you get Super Sea Glide back. Make a base with a hatch. This just takes some practice to find, to be honest. But you're looking for that. Drop the cuttlefish egg and use it to blow up the base. It's going to destroy the cuttlefish egg. Good thing. Alright. Now you fly up onto the island. And we're going to scan some plants. We're going to make it day so you can see. We're going to scan the Ming plant. We're going to scan the Jaffa cup. You want to scan the bulbo tree, which is right behind you. You should be on this path along the coast here. Again, that's the right. If you're looking at it, you know, from this perspective, that's the right one. That's the left one. You should be right under the mountain that goes up to the left one. Scan the pink cap, and then grab this databing entry. Go through this cave right here, and you should run into the speckled rattler, which is right here. While you're scanning this, you can drop the air bladder. It went right through the floor. Okay, that happens sometimes. Look. Where'd it go? It's dropping down. Wait, where did it go? Oh, there it is. There's my air bladder. slowly dropping down into oblivion. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the game just doesn't load things. But if that happens, you're just going to have to run up the normal way. Or you can use a crab to fly. One of the two. But in this section, you can drop an air bladder and fly off, around, and over to the middle. Right here. So when you're up here, go ahead and scan the wall planter. Now come in here and grab this databank entry. This is always a battery if you want it. Grab those two and then come back out again. You can scan the spotlight here. And then jump off here and grab this databank entry and this purple tablet. You want to scan the exterior grow bed here. You also want to scan the two things in the exterior grow bed. If you're running low on food, you can grab some Chinese potatoes. And now, depending on what you have here, you can use the air bladder, or you can use a crab to fly up to the left base, which is over there. So step on your air bladder and fly up. Remember to keep... Where did it go? Okay, it's just in the wall. Keep your air bladder or your crabbo around. You can scan the bulkhead here. If your crab's around, you might not want to scan the bulkhead, though, because they can get in the way of the scan, and whenever something gets in the way of the scan, it resets the scan, which is really bad. So, now you want to come through here, grab the PDA, and scan the observatory. Now you grab the air bladder, step on it, and fly over to the other side. Stasis rifle always spawns here, don't worry about it. Grab this databank entry right here, scan the interior grow bed. That's why it's good to have that battery. You need the grub basket. You need the fern palm. You need the voxel shrub, it's all the way in the back. And you need the lantern tree. Now it's worth noting that some of these plants can fall through the ground. If one of the plants falls through the ground, you're going to have to go find it on the island elsewhere. Use your air bladder or your crab, whatever you have, to fly around the island and find where that plant is. It's okay if it's the fern palm, though, because there's two of them here. If both of them fall through the map, it's a reset. Because there's no other fern palms that exist anywhere else in the game, except for these two plants right here. So, hope that both of them don't fall through, and only one of them does. Now you're done with the island, you can grab your air bladder, step on it, and go back over to your base, which is just over here, and drop. Enter your base, get Super Sea Glide again, and leave. You get to the starting base. Now we're going to go down to Life Pod 19, which is just over here. Make sure to go a little bit above it because there's some terrain right here. There's a little trench that you're going to have to go into right here. And head down. Now we're in the Sparse Reef. If you didn't get Rock Grub earlier, this is your only other time to get Rock Grub. Same thing with Bleeder. Scan your gel sack, scan your ruby. You need, in this section, you need 4 gel sacks, you need 4 rubies. So start grabbing stuff that you see. And remember to grab the Life Pod 19 stuff as well. You need the 2 databank entries outside of it. Right here. This one. And this one. We're at 1 ruby and 1 gel sack. 2, 1. This is all the rest of the gel sacks. I need 2 more rubies. 1 and 2. If you do not have power cell charger, you can find them on the floor here. It's a good time to find them. The sparse wreck is already loaded because Clove already loaded it. So all of these fragments are here. However, if you see any fragments here at this point in the run, you have not scanned them. The only reason fragments are appearing here is because Clove's already loaded this wreck. So all the fragments are already here. If you see fragments here, you have not scanned them. Scan them. So, go around this wreck, see what you can find. Scan any fragments you missed. Go ahead and grab this databank entry right here. The vehicle upgrade console, you need this. While you're on the way over, this is just the normal any percent route now. We're back on the any percent route. Grab a salt and grab a fish. If you can. Where are the fish? Now you go back into the sparse cache, like normal. There's the regress shell and Gabe feather. They're right here. If you want to get them, you can get them right now. Go ahead and use the purple tablet on this door to open the door. You do not need any ion cubes here. Just grab the data terminal and leave.
Integrating new PDA data.
Come back out. Now I can grab a fish. And you can come in and despawn this wreck. Now you're trying to get the normal any percent stuff here. Stuff like hull fragments and bridge fragments. Any fragment that spawns here, you're going to want to scan now. Also worth noting, this fish skip works a little bit different. You need both of these databank entries right here. So you're going to want to fish skip this one and then go up. But you don't want to fish skip it with the scanner. You want to fish skip it with the sea glide and then go up and grab that other one while you're still in the animation. Here's how this looks. So this 3 here, go up, open this, grab my scanner, press my scanner again. That's how that looks if you do it right. Just a little bit of time save. So bridge is done. Now, you might think, oh, you have to grab this PDA, right? Nope, you don't have to grab this PDA. You want to see what I mean? Wow, that gave me nothing. Isn't that crazy? It's actually a duplicate. It matches one of them in the Aurora. And you also don't have to grab this databank edge or data box right here. You want to know why? Because it automatically gives you that blueprint whenever you craft the Aurora, so you don't actually have to do that. So, go around, make sure you got all your fragments, and both of those data boxes right there. You want to scan one of these things. These are a spiked horngrass right here. And then you're going to do the normal any percent depth. You're going to go down here. Scan a deep shroom. Grab 3. In this case, I'm not able to grab 3. That's okay. Just make a compartment. Make a hatch on it. But it's not quite the normal any percent depth. So you know what we do instead? We grab a propulsion cannon, we grab a mushroom, and we shoot at the thing. Go into the base, save your inventory, make sure you have your knife out, and now you can go die on some mushrooms. Now that's going to spawn us back in this base with full oxygen. We also have the rest of our inventory saved. So what we can do is we can just deconstruct this hatch right away. Probably going to need to... Oh, we don't need to drop an item. Never mind. And we're just going to leave that there. So that's our respawn base. Or not our respawn base anymore. We saved our inventory in that base, and now we have full oxygen. So now we're going to go over to the next section of the route. Straight out of here, you're going to see that, and you're going to see the blood kelp here. Kind of follow the blood kelp out here, and you're going to see a little bridge across it. Go to the other side of this bridge and go straight down. You're going to run into this wreck, go straight into the top of it, and grab this databank entry. That's all you need to grab. Come up, and then come around, and you'll see this data box right here. Grab this data box. Then go straight under the wreck and come down. If you don't have nuclear reactor yet, there's a bunch of nuclear reactors that spawn. I think grappling arm also spawns here. All that stuff. Now we're going to head into the Lost River again for the southern section of the Lost River. So there's 2 entrances in this section. There's this entrance, and there's also another entrance over there. Go into this entrance first. This one's wider. You want to scan these 2 plants down here. You want to scan the pyrocore, and you want to scan whatever... I forgot what this is. What is this again? The brine lily. Go ahead and come back out the way you came. Come off to the left. Now we're going to come into this section of the Lost River. Scan this alien sensor. There can sometimes be a crab squid in here, just be careful. And now go over to this door. And open it with your orange tablet that you got. Come in. scanning the crab claw kelp. If you've missed any Lost River scans, this is the only remaining time that you have to get Lost River scans. Go ahead and scan all the things I'm scanning on screen and grab this data terminal and you are done. Go ahead and come out and die. Now we got to do the last section of the run, which is one of the more complicated sections of the run. Our first priority is making all of the stuff that we got in sparse into actual ingredients. So we're going to go over to our base, which didn't load in for some reason. Here's our base. We're going to go ahead and make 4 aerogel. We're going to also start our radio messages. We're going to make the hydrochloric acid. There we go. That's everything. So go ahead and dump some of these things in here. What you're going to want to do first is grab 2 lead, 2 titanium, and a lubricant. And that should be everything that you need. Go ahead and grab your mobile vehicle bay as well. You can go ahead and deploy it. Make sure you deploy it near your duplication base. So now what we're going to do is we're going to... I'm actually going to take the battery out of my scanner just so I have a lot of juice in my habitat builder. So go ahead and make your moon pool. And now you want to deconstruct it once. There we go. So once you've done that, your moon pool's here. That's all you need to do. Come back over here. And now you want the 2 lithium you got at Mountain. Go ahead and make 1 plasteel ingot. Except I actually don't have lead. Forgot. I actually need lead. Hold on. So we have to do another moon pool too. I think you might have to do another one anyway. You totally do. You have to do 2. So once you've done that, go ahead and put all of that. You need 3 of these, the lead, you need the plasteel, and you need your advanced wiring kit. You need 2 titanium, and you need your 2 enameled glass. That should be your inventory for the duplicate section. Go into your duplication base if you have the hatch and make the nuclear reactor. You're going to want to get 9 ingots from this. That's 1. Finding a consistent spot on this usually involves looking around where the input is. Sometimes it's very hard to find a consistent spot to dupe this, but I got kind of lucky right now, so we're getting very consistent duplication. That's 5. 6. 7. Whenever you're out of inventory space, go ahead and make a trash can. And then dump a bunch of the lead that you have into it. You can also dump advanced wiring kits. That's 8. No, that's 7. Wait, is that 8? That's 8. Now you can deconstruct on the last one and get your 9th. Remember to... you need 3 advanced wiring kits. Grab 1 titanium from that trash can. And then you need to make the observatory. This thing sucks to duplicate. I don't know why it's so picky about how it duplicates, but this happens so much. You only need to duplicate it twice and then deconstruct it once for the last enameled glass, because you just need 5 enameled glass from that. Alright, once you've done that, you are very, very good. So what you do now is you want to put some stuff away, grab some lube. You need to grab 2 diamonds and you need to grab 2 aerogel. You also need to grab 2 glass. That should be everything. Yep. Now you come out over here to the mobile vehicle bay, and you want to make the prawn suit. While the prawn suit's crafting, deconstruct the moon pool. You want to try to stay on the mobile vehicle bay. It helps the prawn suit fall better. Once you've deconstructed the moon pool, go ahead and go over to the prawn suit and grab a power cell from it. Go back onto your mobile vehicle bay and make the sea moth now. Perfect. Now, come back to your base. You want to grab 2 titanium ingots, 4 lead, which I already have in my inventory, and a computer chip. Now you want to come back out to your mobile vehicle bay and grab it. Now, depending on where you spawned, you either spawned at clip A or clip C. Do the rocket setup that is nearest to your place that you built the base. I'm going to do the old rocket setup, in this case, for A. We're going to make the rocket. Go. And now we can go back to our base, and we're going to make the ion batteries now. In this case, I only have 3 gold, which is bad. We need 5 for this section, but you have to also remember that you have these 2 fabricators that you can get rid of, and they will have gold in them. You have to remember to make polyaniline out of the hydrochloric acid that you made. So if you need the gold from both of those, you can go back to your life pod and use the fabricator in there to make the polyaniline. And now you just grab everything else that you should need. You've made the 2 ion power cells. And remember to make those power cells, you need the gold, you need the silver, and you need the ion cubes. You need 3 lead in your inventory. Go ahead and grab 2 of these. And then grab pretty much everything in here. You do not need the magnetite. And that should be pretty much everything. Oh, I need the 2 aerogel. You only need 2 lube. That should be pretty much everything. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm actually going to drop some stuff in here and grab both of these flares. And then I'm going to do flare storage here. And that'll allow me to pick those up in a second. It'll also allow me to do something a little bit extra. Go ahead and make the next stage. This is just the 80% ending now, for the most part. Now, any downtime you have, you should be checking your blueprints and your databank entries. So we're good on blueprints because we're going to have 157 after the rocket is crafted. That's really good. So our blueprints are done. We're going to check databank entries in just a second. I'm going to show you the best way to check databank entries. If you're feeling extra and want to try something a bit risky at the very end of the run, do this. Drop your air bladder, step on it, fly up into the top of the rocket, and then you can activate the switches early. It's at the very end of the run, so you do not have to do this by any means. Go ahead and go back down. And now I'm going to show you how to check your databank entries. So as you can see, we're at 157 blueprints, and now we get to check databank entries. So the first thing to do is close all of your databank entries, all like the big categories for them. Here's what you need to be checking. 16 advanced theories, 27 or 28 blueprints. If you have all of the blueprints and you scan the laser cutter, you know you have all the blueprints. You don't have to worry about it. And you did the alien. You didn't scan an alien containment. That's like the other thing. It's great. You need 110 data downloads. You need 12 geological data, and you need 110 indigenous life forms. As you can see, I don't have those. Now, it's a possibility that I opened some at the wrong time. If I opened them, the unread indicator doesn't appear. So it's best to try to make sure that you don't open anything during the run. But if you aren't able to do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to pull up the Subnautica speedrun checklist, this document right here, and you're going to want to go through all of the different categories and see what you're missing. So, advanced theories, we should have 16. We're good. 28 M blueprints is good. Data downloads, we should have 110. That's 109 because we're missing one unread. So, alien data is good. In public documents, we also opened one, so that's going to be good. Data downloads, we know is good, therefore. Geological data is at 12. Indigenous life forms, we've already opened one. We opened the marble melon, so that's 111. We are good. So that is all the databank entries done. So, once you've checked everything, you can go to make the last stage, and then either take the elevator up or be fancy and fly up to the top and enter the rocket. And that is it. That is how you do 100%. Now, the most important part of 100% is literally just practicing. Set aside like 4 hours or 5 hours to do your first 100% run. It's going to take you some time. It's going to take you some time, I will admit. But I missed one at the bottom. What did I miss? That's so goofy. I missed this one. Good job, Ruby.
Auxiliary power unit online. All systems are go.
There you go.
To lift off.
So, that is how you do 100% in Subnautica. Don't mind the time change. The time totally just changed from night to day, but don't worry about it. It's not important.
Ready to launch on your...
So, that is the run. Like I said, practice. A lot. You're gonna need a couple runs of this to get used to everything and to just know what you're like missing and all of that stuff. Being able to figure out exactly what you need in every single section. Do a few runs, no resets. That's gonna be the best way for you to get better at this. Go into a creative world. If you need practice navigating through the different sections, the southern section of the map is probably the hardest bit of navigation in the game because you have to just know the landmarks very, very well. I told you the best way that I use to navigate them. If they're not exactly clear, you got to find your own ways of navigating. What I use tends to work well for me, but obviously I'm not saying it's going to work well for everyone. Navigating that southern section of the map is hard. It's really hard. But I'm confident you can do it. And I'm confident that anyone who gives 100% a good shot can complete a run in under 3 hours. So that should be a good goal for you. Try to get under 3 hours. And then if you have any questions, you can always reach me, comment on this video, and I can try to respond there. Or if you really want to make sure I respond, you can ask me on Discord. My Discord is Rubix37. It's the same as my channel name. It's just all lowercase. So you can reach me that way if you want and ask me some questions. Another way that you can probably reach me is through the Subnautica Speedrunning Discord. It's a great resource. We have some of the other 100% runners in there. People like AJ and Yoshi, who have done 100% runs, are going to be in there. Very knowledgeable people. They can help you out. And if they can't help you out, they'll redirect you to me and I can help you out. So, thank you all for watching this behemoth of a video. I know it's been 3 hours, but I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, any questions, come talk to me. I'm your go-to for 100%. And if you need practice or anything else, just come talk to me. I love to see more 100% runners. So, yeah, thank you all for showing up. I'll see you guys later. Bye.